Also,
Hello?
hello!
Hello?
I'm Grin.
I'm Ignacio.
You know I hate being a scene agreeing with her, but I'm going to have to once in a while. I have finally gotten my mic up and running, and I did it just in the nick of time to tell you. 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, I better not be hearing radio silence whenever I find my... There it is. Sorry, I had to give myself the Viggo Mortensen hairdo. Okay. Do we get to see Babby? Thank you, Wolfpack, for 3 months. Aw, it's a Babby. He's growing so quick. That baby is twice as big as the last time I saw it, I swear. He's filled out. Baby boops. Yes. We not only play games here, we are full-grown adults. Lives. Creating lives. Yeah. Not a game for... This is... rude. Welcome to yet another session of Jokes, Tales, and Critical Fails here at crispy_VDL. That here is this Twitch channel. I suppose you could be viewing us on YouTube or Facebook as well at the moment. But let's go ahead and get started with yet another session of scouring the Scorched continent here in the lands of Rakesh. The Scorched continent, as it is known, we are in the heart, deep below the sands of the Red Empire. Our heroes, after saving the town of Agressa, have ventured out in search of a dragon, a young drake that is currently terrorizing the river Tabar. You ventured out along the Imperial Highway, to which, after meeting an oasis, Paladin seems bartering in only lie. you all thieved and robbed them once more, venturing off down the road with your caravan, your cart, and your belongings in tow. However, you all not let this deter you, began to venture through one of the most treacherous lands known to man, the Mirhan Desert, a rather fierce and unforgiving terrain of sand and wasteland. You, however, with a cleric side and a number of tough folk, have no issue withstanding the elements, almost getting deceived by a mirage. You kept to the highway after only venturing off upon signs of, well, rest. Finding a place where you could camp for the night, you were attacked. After a few days' travel through the desert unperturbed, ogres seem to charge at you from a nearby mesa where they make home. As you guys made camp, this did not seem to be an issue for you all, as you quickly dispatched the ogres with ease. Leaving their bodies in the sands, you fled to safety as you viewed a mechanical contraption burrowing its way through the sands. As you viewed from a safe distance, climbing out of the dunes came a mechanical scorpion with 8 legs, a large glass-paned, like sort of dome-like head, as well as a tail with a gyrating orb affixed to some sort of mechanism at the top of its tail. This scorpion emerged from the burrowed sand and made its way up to the corpses, to which it investigated and began to leave as you approached. However, you all watched as it returned upon spying you to introduce its owner as well as occupant. You all, upon surprise, were not met with an enemy, but instead were met with an artificer by the name of Neft, and a dwarf who you know to be previously associated with the Golden Iris, a group of healers and humanitarians operating within the Red Empire. He now seems to scour the desert in search of a fuel source, enough to operate a machine as large as. Accompanying him is a Yuan-T known as Small. Together, they wander toward the deep desert, where they have uncovered a location where they may acquire more of a substance known as God's, a very powerful alchemical crude oil source that can be used to fuel many different machines. As you all were offered lodging within his home, he made this all privy to you and asked for your aid in a journey he plans to take on to a mountain where he hopes to find many more sources for his fuel. However, expects opposition. This he does not wish to take on alone, and with your aid, he asks you all. I will be willing to pay you, and I know now you do not have much to your name, but I'll let you think on my decision, and if you find it in your favor, well, we can set out first thing. If this job is completed quickly, then we can hopefully make it back to your upon your road in time for you to catch those fiends that robbed you. I will be willing to aid as best I can, if you can help me. I don't ask for an answer now. Think on it. Use my beast, Berjal, as you see fit, and make yourself at home. Please, do not let me disturb you. I do not have the fuel source to dally. I am currently on the search for a supplement enough to get us to where I need to go. One. Got it. I missed you guys toward the end there. What Neft will say is, he goes, if I am being honest with you all, it could take some time to handle this problem in full. If we get the chance to get you back on course where you're heading, it will be days from now. This is a long travel, and there are stops along the way. Your goods may be pawned, the lesser valued one. But I'm open to assisting you getting back what we can. I would be happy to compensate. What are those? Oh. Oh. Well, I will be happy to assist you in acquiring them. If the ring was of little magical purpose, then it is likely to be sold in the local. We can ask around and try to locate it once we get there. Hmm. I will retire to my room. I don't wish to be part of this. Don't let me interrupt. And shuts the door. This. Make an insight check. Make an insight check. +7. He seems to be telling the truth, but he is sweating a lot. It's not that he seems to be lying. There's a lot of pressure on this conversation that he's trying to sort of conceal as he disappears. Doesn't seem. Interesting. Thank you.
Because listening to it, I couldn't hear Avery.
There you go.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Oh,
Yep, I hear it now.
Cool beans. Hoffs.
Thank you, Titus.
8:45.
Appreciate
What do
you
you think?
saying that.
Thanks, Titus. What do you think?
on like venturing out with him.
Yes.
My bigger concern is regarding the issue around the river. Because if I remember correctly, that was time sensitive to some degree.
Yes.
I just, I didn't lose really anything of like personal value that they stole. It was just stuff that was worth money. So my my larger concern is just, is this going to slow us down in the broad scheme of getting to the river and solving that issue? And if we don't think it is, then I'm perfectly happy to go for it.
I think this would better benefit us if only we would get our stuff back and then we could use that money to move us forward towards the river and expedite it in some way.
Mm-hmm.
What say you, B45 and Oberon?
I mean, I was just curious because we had 2 weeks, I think it was, to get to the river.
I don't remember if we had a time on it, just that we were going to do it first.
You were not given a time.
Yeah.
Your agreement with the dragon was outstanding. And the understanding that you had with them, because that was one of the questions you broached, is when do we have to have this done by?
Yeah.
The response you got was not that. However, if they grow impatient, they will come looking, which you probably aren't going to want.
Probably don't want.
I don't think he'd be stressed out. Dragons are immortal beings. I don't think, well, not immortal, but long-lived beings. I don't think a couple days is much attention from him. In the large scheme of things, we're still headed towards to deal with the wormling. I don't believe it wasn't necessarily time sensitive. It was just pressing.
Okay.
Let's just do.
I feel like that's a pretty.
Okay.
Side
And we
quest is
haven't
fun.
exactly asked this guy either how long he expects us to be out.
He said a couple days, which could mean up to a week.
Well,
Presumably.
if we're all for it.
I vote yes. What vote you, Ignacio?
I mean, I didn't want to, if only because they took my
So
guns.
you're neutral. Okay. Hoffs, what say you?
I say yes. We help. If
That's-
the issue at the river isn't super time sensitive, then yeah, I think we have time to do this.
What say you, Oberon?
Yeah, but does Ignacio have weapons?
I mean, I can
Ignacio is a
cast.
caster.
Oh, okay.
I'll be fine.
What say you, Oberon?
Yeah, we can help him.
Okay.
It's
What
nice
say
and air
you,
conditioned in
Grin?
here anyways.
There's not air conditioning, but it is cooler because you're out of the sun under the surface, yeah.
I can get a lot of supplies from this man as I start walking towards his forge room and grabbing
not
Smith's tools.
A yes, no, or neutral. Give me one of those three.
I think we're all.
I want majority is what's happening. You chose neutrality. You chose to defer your vote, and that's okay.
B45 said, let's go.
Okay,
Okay.
that's 4. Let's assist him. And we didn't use any. It's the same day, right? So we didn't use any of my upper spell slots yet, or did we use them all up and that's why it's 0?
You have not.
We didn't
rested.
finish our long
You guys
rest.
did not finish your long rest.
Okay.
Fight. I don't know what you.
You used me in the
That
fight.
is true. That is. Well,
It's at 0. I'm assuming
Yeah.
that you used it up. Then okay. Okay.
Last in.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I
go
jumped off a rock and smashed one.
Yeah, you guys
That's-
fucked up those hopes. That's what I.
So he's probably not asleep yet because we've been talking for a couple minutes. I'll go knock on the door, tell him we're willing to assist him, and then we all rest, and then we come up with a larger game plan about it tomorrow. Does that sound good?
Sounds good to me.
You hear through the door.
Alright.
Grin.
Splendid. Still
Oh,
think on
gosh.
it. I
Yeah.
don't wish to rush you into anything.
We're not rushing.
Well,
We talked about it. We're good. Go to sleep. We'll see you
I
in the
want
morning.
to go and just
Shing-
close
he-
his door.
he slides open his door and he's in a robe. As he goes, well, wonderful. Let me start charging a course now then. Excuse me. And he passes by you
Most
guys.
excellent.
As he goes to the front room with a bunch of maps and I can explain to you all tomorrow though.
Yes.
You are you are all left to rest. If there's anything you'd like to do so now. Otherwise, hold your tongues, I guess.
I am going to use Smith's tools at the end of the long rest to bring a steel defender back to its life.
Can I watch that? Is that all right? Grim?
Well,
I'm also curious.
Not like we have anything.
Everyone stare at Grin
So
for an
is
hour.
this this is like using the pieces of Grin that you have, correct?
Of beaks, yeah. So
Yes.
the
Jeez,
feature says that at the end of a long rest, you can create a new steel defender if you have Smith's tools with you.
Okay, so what we're going to say is you kind of head into the back and start, working pretty immediate with the pieces of beaks that you had. Okay, anybody else?
Did we get through like half of our long rest or what?
We have to restart.
You have to restart.
Okay, I'll sleep the first 4 hours.
Oh
and then the
well,
other 4.
I'm actually so sorry. I believe
I forgive you.
You got through the first half of your long rest. Yes, you are fully
On the
rested.
tail end.
No, you are fully rested. You tranced.
Yes.
The first 4. If I remember correctly. Which I don't want to go back all through the
No, you're fine.
rolls,
I'll still
I'm-
take the trance. It's fine.
The fight happened in the last 2 hours, so
Yes.
any
Yeah.
spells used would have to be redone anyways.
Okay.
Well, the
That's-
fight
then
happened
that
in the
doesn't-
last 2 hours. Oh yeah, any spells that you may have used.
Yeah, it would still just come after
Um,
the 8 anyway. That's fine. In the 4 hours, then I just want to translate the book some more. Did I get advantage because we figured out the cipher?
You're gonna have to give me more than the.
Sorry. The black book.
Who's Black Book? the full-
Fucking what's his name?
The full description.
Masaf
There you go.
on Farit's black book.
Uh,
Do I get advantage because we figured out the ciphers?
there's still more to translate.
I don't know. We
You-
have.
You just keep asking, and I'm pretty sure
I do because I want to exhaust it.
I'm pretty sure you've exhausted it. There's not really much else I can give you.
Then
Do
the
you
other
have
half's
writ-
empty.
Do you have?
I have notes.
Well, yeah. What do you have written down?
I have wait. I have figured out the part which is
What's not
legitimate
robbed
and he
from
sells.
you?
Can I just post this?
Like you have a number of I'm like.
Nope, that's not it. Sorry.
What are
Ignore
you
that.
looking for? Because you have a bunch
I
of book names in there.
Want to see if he has any like accounts under different names that I could siphon money from.
Not that you can find in Masa. What you see here is mostly sort of money lent. He mostly dealt in money lent. Meaning his black book is filled with a number of underhanded deals as well as sort of payoffs and bribes. He keeps detailed records of sort of people he has dealt with in the past that you may be able to sort of extort, but there's no like bank records. That's what you're looking for. There are names of people who he has had dealings with, as well as monetary values, as well as like some sort of indication toward their dealings in the past, but not any account.
Okay.
I believe I have given you names of people you found in that book.
Gave me. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later. It's not perfect because I don't think I have names.
Okay.
Okay.
You should
why
have
it's-
names.
We talked about. We'll talk about it later. It's not pressing. We'll just say I read through it some more during my excess 4 hours.
Okay, why are we talking about it later? What do you know? Why don't you just tell me?
Oh shit. I have because I just wrote it on the notes that you gave me before.
Okay, did you post it?
I will send it to you right now.
Okay.
I want to see the dog come out too. Where I want to see Beaks come to life. I also want to watch.
Beaks will...
Like, if anything, I'd want the trader discount specifics. Because it'd be helpful when we're going into, what's it called?
The Jafray.
Yeah, into Jafray and Tabari. And then Nahir and Hasir, but I think we have to go over Tabari, over the river to go over there. I want to get money where I can get money from his ship. Is what this is right now, because that's what we need as a party.
Well, what I'm saying is the Black Book does not hold money.
Okay.
It holds contacts of individuals he's given money to or lent money in the past. If you in the moment would like to seek out these people, there are names that are in Jafray, but you have no like sort of context to what names would be of importance. If you would like to yeah. You have it, but you were not given name in business?
Yeah. You just told me
Oh, okay.
that's what's in there.
I see. You're just asking again then for no apparent.
Yeah, I was
Good
asking if there's a
session.
list, but there's no list yet. It's fine.
Oh, no, there is a list. I just didn't know you haven't been given the names. Okay. Gotcha. I mean, I can give them to you now. It's just I probably didn't give them to you yet because you're not in Jafray.
It can wait.
Yeah,
We'll assume I have
that was
it.
the idea. Well, yeah, you do have it. But I'm just gonna give them now.
Okay. Oh, why?
Didn't a
What did B45 put here? I just saw the top one. He would like his halberd.
So, you would know there are 3 shops of like relative importance. The shops are the ones that jump out at you. One that is denoted as Marcus Laboratory. It is an alchemist shop, and it is owned by Marcus and Azmi Johanna.
Mm-hmm.
There is the second one is a place as Dantef's Market, owned by Dantef Barras.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last is a jeweler, which is Para's Gems,
Mm-hmm.
owned by Para Povs. Povs.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, all three of those are. There are other names throughout the book, we have deciphered, but I mean, none that you would know jump out at you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You don't have any frame of reference to know who so and so.
Yeah.
They're just marked as a name. You can just mark 3 businesses, which of course are like at least something you can exploit. There are think that is that book is outwardly referenceable, like, you know, in a situation, if you want to in a moment double check to see if so and so's name is in there, it wouldn't be a bad idea, as he is again well connected, but you know, who knows who Masaf knew. Other than that, those are just like the 3 that's you know, of note. Anybody else doing anything during the evening before they turn in?
Bastion, working alongside Grid for like that first hour or so before turning in fully, is just gonna work on designing a new halberd to
Well,
present to the other 2 who said that they would help make one.
yeah, you can use the time to draw up a halberd design as you would like.
Essentially, it's just the head being a big ass B that's sharpened.
You're welcome to do that. In that time, as you're working, Grin, coming back into the workshop is Samal, who picks up a hammer and stands next to you, and they kind of like peering down. They go, we were told you are helping us, and in exchange, we're to arm you for an upcoming battle. If you wish to wait it out, we do have a long travel ahead of us. If you want, you may have time to redesign your friend here. Maybe make some improvements.
I did have some ideas.
We have supplies, and I mean, together, we should be able to come up with a couple of changes for your poor friend here. Looking at the pieces of grin, or Jesus, I keep doing it. Beaks at your
I did have an idea regarding material. I wanted to make them lighter so that way I could potentially get them airborne.
We could do that. We would have to remake all the pieces. This would take some time.
Yeah, and I can even keep him around in his current state to kind of help us hammer out some stuff with his arms.
Well, if you would like, and you'd have to sort of forego that for the time being, if you'd like to rest for the evening, I can begin the process. However, he will be out of commission today while we work on upgrades. We will be moving in the next day, so you should be fine to work on him all tomorrow. In the evening, drawing up plans, and we can try to assist then. If you all are to help us in our task, might as well go fully equipped. Hold off for a day as we prepare some materials. In a day, we'll have him back better than before.
Hey, Avery, can I see that fancy book you always read?
Sure. I'll hand it over.
I grab the book, I open up to the last page, and I tear it out.
Oh, okay.
Then I hand the book
The
back,
most
and I go,
important names are on there. No.
and I go,
Fuck.
and I go, here, I already drew this earlier when I had the idea. And it has the sketch that I had actually made previously using the quill that
She takes a
made
look
a
at it.
secret of mine be learned.
Takes a look and goes, "This is perfect. I'll start work tonight. And we can hammer out the details."
Oh, that was just a bad joke.
I thought it was as
I'm not
she-
wrong.
Slow clap starts.
You can see in the sort of front chamber works Neft, sort of hurried and rushed. He scribbles on a number of pieces of paper as he sort of works with metallic implements. You guys each turn in for the evening, and you can rest quite soundly in this underground mechanical machine. The sounds of like creaking study is what you hear, mixed with the occasional clang, 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 roaring of machine ears through. However,
This is like Grin's bedtime playlist.
ambient noise. This is the one to use.
This is his ambient noise playlist.
That is. But you're the first to, or actually middle of the day, but it's nice and cool in here instead of unbearable hot out on. You are able to sleep, however, fortunately, due to this machine breaking you from the heat, and as you do, it seems the it seems the dwarf works vigorously, running back and forth through sort of this living room where you guys have spread out and slept, into the back, where he and Somali work. The sleep is unpleasant, as it is mixed with the sound of a pumping bellows, a roaring forge, and a clang, clang, clang in the other room, and then a slide of the door as he goes, sorry, excuse me, sorry, as he steps through like the pile of you all sleeping at various points throughout the, excuse me. As he goes back to the front,
knowing how big he is, like sleeps at the front door that we came through, where it's the most out of the way possible.
You tuck away
I
down
was-
the alleyway.
I was
I'm
gonna
on
say
this chair.
that Ignacio is cold because he's cold-blooded. So he's used to the heat of the desert, and being in this like kind of like cool area, he's like, wow, it's kind of cold.
You sit by the
Furnace.
the oven, as you all rest one by one begin. As you can hear a whistle from a kettle put on the stove as Neft claps his hands. So, all rested, ready to discuss details, anyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
1 second. Need
Yeah,
a
I'll
like
listen.
2-minute sidebar.
Well, of course.
I assume he like moves aside, and I'll just like push everyone like over a little bit. I'm like, do we tell Masaf that we're doing this? Not Masaf, sorry. Mahmoud, we're doing this, or since it would take us a while to get over there anyway, we just don't mention it.
I feel like this is one of those times that secrecy can help.
Okay.
So we're not gonna.
No one
tell
else.
Not at this moment. Maybe later.
I don't
see a reason to
I
inform
don't.
him
Okay.
right now.
Okay. I just want to know. I don't know how reporting works here. Okay.
He also had said that we are left to our own devices. We make our own decisions.
Until we go back all the way to Zagard. Yeah. Okay.
I
Okay, cool.
figure- Yeah. Okay.
We're good. I'll turn back around.
Real quick,
One
just
of-
because I'm sure y'all can hear the thunder in the background, I might lose power. We have a really bad storm passing through. So just a heads up.
When in
It's
doubt,
hitting you
watch
now.
the VOD, Bubs.
Mm,
Well, that is good news. I look forward to working with all of you. If you don't mind my asking, what exactly is each of your specialty? I believe our friend here looks that of a wizard. Am I mistaken? He looks toward you, Hoffs.
no, I hold up the spell book. It's pretty much about as accurate as you can get.
Yes. Something about you just screams academic. What about the rest of you? Looks toward. I, of course, am familiar with your skills. Hound killer, correct?
Correct.
I read up first.
Do you have that book here by any chance?
It
You
is
wouldn't mind
through
me
a
perusing
series of books. Mentions it's it's a brief footnote, if anything. But I'm happy to show you what I do. Which is very little. I'm happy to sit down with you, if you don't mind.
Sure. If anything, my past told me knowledge is more powerful than anything.
Well, other than a footnote in the corner of military academy books, I know little about it. However, we can change that. About you, however, big man, looks toward Oberon. What skills do you bring to the table?
You see these paws?
I do.
These paws are deadly.
Ah! In the, like,
Sorry.
traditional sense, or, like, what are we talking?
Bastion
Are you cursed?
Bastion holds up his hand and just goes, just swing. And just waiting for Oberon to make contact so that way he can hear the force behind the punch.
Just punch him in the fist.
He goes, ah, he just hears the ring throughout, boom, he goes, ah, ouch, you can take a point of damage,
Yeah.
clobber him,
Destroy him.
No.
I'll take the full hit, but
Take
I mean,
him
at the same time,
out.
1 point is much better.
he goes, so in the traditional sense then, wonderful, I am not much of a puncher myself, but, Samal over here does know. Way, I do believe?
Marshall?
Samal just goes, I prefer to use a hammer.
Hammer's always a good choice.
I suppose, yes. I wouldn't punch a man made out of metal. Seems
No tools needed.
impressive. You watch as Neff eyes linger upon you, Ignacio.
Oh, you probably don't want me doing my thing in here.
I don't know if that's true necessarily. What is your thing?
Can I can't really do an Eldritch Splash in here, otherwise I'm gonna poke a hole in here.
It's force damage. You could.
I don't want.
I understand your tradition.
Here, I'll do this.
You
I will
you don't have to
press
show. You can
prestidigitate.
always tell. But
Can I
prestidigitate.
prestidigitate a fire at the tip of my finger?
Yeah, of course. He goes, magic. Where then did you study?
Didn't study. Just was.
I'm sorry. You sort of faded out ominously.
I have friends on the other side.
Some sort of infernal pact.
Got it.
A close friend of mine, the warlock. He, of course, was devoured by a greater demon. Messy business.
It has been.
What level of the seven hell or ill from?
It's kind of a touchy subject. I'm not exactly inclined.
Keep your cards
to give...
close to the chest, I understand.
I appreciate the respect.
Of course, I've been in the business a long time. And why is it then a warlock, 2 fighters, a wizard, and
A child.
A child.
Artificer, why do you all travel with a child? Is my question. Looking at Avery.
I am a cleric.
I wouldn't worry about the kids so much.
It doesn't matter to me the age of the people that I travel with. Just that they know what they're doing and can keep themselves alive long enough for us to help each other.
I am a cleric.
Right.
It's really a funny
A
story.
child cleric is still a child.
Yes.
If you want to
Correct.
look at it, we're all on a sinking ship and he's a stowaway.
That is an troubling metaphor. As I have just let you on my vessel. But
Oh shit, sorry.
it's fine. I assume you were talking metaphorically.
Yes.
Well,
I mean, we are quite literally on a vessel that is sinking into the sand.
yes, but it's designed to do so. Let me help stay you afloat, then, as best I can, as to see to this fine cleric's well-being, and your all's. But for some reason, it's different
When it's a kid,
You-
yes.
when it's a kid.
You do not need to double your concern for me because of my age.
So they,
I'm
all,
able to take care of myself, I promise.
so they all say, and I'm beginning to believe you.
I keep
But
much
that's
closer eye
more
on them than
concerning. In some ways. Anywho, the best I can help. I am here for it. You all sound plenty tough, and I knew my eyes did not lie. Or my arcane eye, that is. But nonetheless. So, the job at hand is simple. We are going in search of Godspear. In
What?
that process, I have a machine. It is an arcane device which senses things, pockets, throughout the earth. These pockets are what we're looking for. Often, at certain altitudes, these pockets, when breached, can contain the substance I am looking for. God's blood. Often, that's not the only thing they contain. That is where you come in. I sometimes need protection. Often that is handled by Samal and myself. Of course, I'm not useless. But as of late, it has become quite exhausting to have to resort to retreat and or worse,
You're not
prolonged
getting
combat. We're not getting as much bang for our buck, in a sense.
Can you describe what you've been fighting recently?
It tends to differ. God's blood has innate magical properties, and when mixed with arcane devices, can amplify their effects quite significantly. On that note, any creature from the dark will worship it for its effects. It can be quite maddening to consume, and also, for that reason, some foul creatures tend to congregate toward. Any
And
number.
if I'm not mistaken, we should not use any flame nearby it, correct?
Not if you value your life.
Bastion just looks over to the arm that he has seen repeatedly spit flame when starting.
It should be safe from combustion once I'm sorry, it should be safe from combustion as long as you're in a close vicinity. Falling in, however, may be unwise if you do operate off. Nonetheless,
Got it.
as a machine, arcane one at that, who knows? Should you be covered in substance?
You said for the demons or other foul creatures it had maddening effects?
Not always demons. There's sometimes dwarfs, which I had seen create a deep tribe among a pocket of God's blood. They had consumed the God's blood via normal means, I suppose, and, well, they were not easy to rationalize. Put it like.
Quick question for you, Chris, and as like a thing about the world.
Yes.
Do pneumatic devices exist? Have they been invented yet?
Um. Hmm.
Basically, just like machines utilizing air pressure.
Yeah. You can. Not widely. No. I mean.
Okay.
Yeah. You. Uh. I mean, it's not widely known, but like, it's definitely within an artifice. I'd imagine
It's something
if
that would be
you.
like shown off at the artificer
Oh yeah,
conventions.
exactly, 100%. Yeah, and there's different uses. Hydraulic.
God.
Yeah, 100%.
That was just going to determine a line
Yes.
of
Oh yeah, there are
conversation with him.
Oh yeah, there are very you can see pneumatic pumps.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, this is a mix of both mechanical devices and like, but it's not like a widely known. Not gonna go blacksmith.
Yeah.
You know. First, but artificer.
Okay, cool. Neft. I feel like you're missing a way that you could potentially get this fuel easier.
And how would you suggest that?
Well, it would take a little bit of work, and by a little bit I mean probably a lot. But potentially creating a system of pneumatic pumps and tubes that you can use the scorpion's tail of your machine to pierce through the ground underneath the pocket of fuel and then use pneumatic pressure to absorb it into the machine and have it direct into whatever area you're utilizing.
So this is the process I use.
Oh, perfect.
I don't use the tail. That is my observation tool. I use the claws.
Perfect. So why do you need to fight anything? You could simply go underground and take it from underneath.
Most of the things guarding these pockets can burn.
I see.
I take them on the surface so I can do something about it. We, if you haven't noticed, do have a number of cannons around this place. Those, of course, can only help so far, but they've been one. Currently, if we are attacked, our usual operation is finding a pocket where I can set the machine to drain, and we take on the things that come at us. It tends to require quite a bit of repairs. So, if we could use a group to cause a distraction away from the machine, that may be in our better interest. Now, hopefully, we're hoping to have to hit one pocket along the way, and that should carry our fuel to our destination. That being said, should our machine be attacked by anything along the way, we may have to. If you're not aware, we are not the only under the. And
There's
we're
an
not.
entire ecosystem under the sands of Rakash.
Yes, and we're not the biggest thing under the sand either. So, with that in mind, be prepared for any. Am I clear? 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 Clear?
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Yes.
that
wonderful.
sounds fine.
Well, should there be nothing else, I think it is best we get underway. I am charting a course to a nearby pocket as we speak. It will be about 2 days' travel from this point. If I lucky, I can cut it down by half. But only time will tell. In the meantime, how can I aid you preparing
Just-
us for battle?
For myself, just materials to make a new halberd.
Did we sleep?
Yes,
Yes.
have
We
slept.
long
You
rested.
long rest.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, Oberon passed out before you even got into the scorpion.
That was the joke I had at it last session. Oberon, as soon as there was a big comfy chair, fell asleep.
Yeah, pretty much. So next day, can we
Yeah,
get breakfast?
Oh yes, breakfast, of course.
Oh shoot, do we want to make? We can make food.
Yes, I have a fully stocked kitchen. There is food through in that room there. You can help yourself to any of it. That being said, I do not have eyes for this many people for long.
I create food and water.
What? That should solve the problem. Although it is rather mundane, if we can find a place to pick up resources, spend some gold on that. Room and board is on the house. It's a joke. Laugh once in a while. It's glib in
Very,
here.
very funny.
Look, I know things have been rough for you, and you feel slighted as of late, but I hope you understand I only have your best interest in heart, for your best interest is my best.
Can I insight check him on that? Like, on how genuine he is in that thinking?
He needs our best interest to be in
No,
his
I'm
best
so
interest.
fucking dumb right now.
He seems to be telling the truth. Pops, what did you?
Why you gotta
want
say
to do?
seems?
Yeah.
you gotta
Yeah,
seem. Why can't you just say he's telling the truth?
Oh, there we go.
Pops, he seems to be telling the truth. Don't see any deceit, in his mind or on his.
I want to ask.
Nice.
Also, I forgot his name. What's his name again?
Neft.
Neft. Like left, but-
N-E-F-T. Like left,
Like left,
but with an N.
but with an N.
His name is Neft Aket.
Neft. I sensed some urgency from you last night when you departed for bed. Is there any like reason for that? Or
Urgency for bed. No, I just wish to get out of your hair, as to not interrupt your discussion.
okay.
If I seemed urgent, it was only to get you on my side. You, as I was saying, are quite a benefit who have stumbled into in the middle desert. And if I can help you be your best selves, so to say, I would like to.
Now it's my turn
Yes.
to insight check.
How can this is what he just said. You can insight it again if you would like.
No, it's fine.
It is the same thing Hoffs just
It's the
said.
same thing as everywhere I know.
Yeah.
If you wanted like to have incited the last time you said it, you could.
No,
but, yeah.
it's fine. It's fine. I'm joking. I'm joking. It's okay to laugh, Chris. It's dark and gloomy in here.
He reiterates though, if there's anything I can do for you, speak up now. I want you at your best. As you can see, like I believe Oberon's probably already going, seeing what he's got to prepare.
I mean, I can make us food, Oberon. I know you know how to cook. Like, you got your seasonings still, I think.
Out of character question, just about knowledge.
Yes.
Is God's blood in any way related to God's beard? It's like a really stupid naming thing, but it's been stuck.
I thought
in
they
my
were
head.
the same one when they told me about the last session, and I was like, "We're going some weed again."
There is no there is sort of no naming. There's no similarity to them. Except for the fact that they were like named and sort of coined both by halflings and both from sort of the same region. But I mean, they're
okay.
Well known. They both come from the Holy Kingdom, like originally found in the Holy Kingdom, or the Holy not the Holy Kingdom. I'm sorry, the Holy Continent, the Divine Continent, Aelith. Was where they're both they both got quickly associated with something holy, you know. They just like quickly associate the things with the
we're still level 5, right? I didn't miss a level up in the session I missed.
No. I think we're still level 5.
Yeah, you're still
cool beans.
Do I know anything else about God's blood aside from what he's mentioned it? Like, did it ever get brought up in learning magic?
Yeah, go ahead and make a history check. You would know.
Yeah.
You look like you're thinking, and I give you guidance.
No.
Worth a shot. History. Ooh, 24.
Yeah, you know about God's blood. It was discovered in the Taldazir Empire, across the Ithar Straits. It was like first sort of researched there and utilized in machines. The Taldazir Empire started exploring the waters with Godsbeard powered rudders and sort of these armored machines, which were sort of alarming, but quickly allies were made with the Taldazir sort of all around the world, and the technology spread quickly from there. Rakesh is heavily associated with the Taldazir Empire. Close allies, just like many nations are now, and have adopted their technology through your academy. Our artificers are 100% trained in a nearby academy, mechanical process have been perfected with this substance, as well as arcane, which sort of separate from the crude oil we know and love in this world. There are it has a tendency to amplify arcane effects in general. The substance for this reason does get ingested by creatures. You've heard everything that he's talked about, in an attempt to amplify innate arcane processes. People die. That kills people. It drives them mad and will kill them. This process, but it does actually amplify their magical effects. Sorcerers can drink God's blood.
But so you said innate. Can it be used to amplify non-innate magical effects?
No. So like, no. So
Like
if
like you couldn't have a focus that uses it somehow
maybe
to enhance something, right?
maybe if you
Maybe
have like a god's like
Good.
science, who
God's blood powered
knows? Who
focus.
knows? Yeah, there is
Okay.
like magic can be channeled into it. That happens. Yeah, that's definitely possible. It can be used as a reagent in spells. Yes, it is a magical source.
That also just works as crude oil.
That also works as crude oil. Yes.
Solid.
The but yeah, it you would also know that it doesn't have any magical effects on its own, though. It specifically works in tandem with magic.
So it's like a catalyst, right? Like it pushes
Precisely.
the reaction overboard, but it doesn't. Okay.
Precisely. And yeah, you guys are allowed in this time. You watch as as they work, Samal and Neft trade off, working in the charting room as well as working in the forge. And as you're awoken, Grin, you are sort of put to work right away as Samal first calls you in and goes, "Hey, things are going well, but if you want to go over some of these designs with me, we can hammer that out today. Work them out. I'm sorry, it's just an expression I use. As you can join them in working in the forge.
Love all these puns.
Of course.
Oh, I do puns all the time. There was oh yeah, you were in the Thursday session. I was about to tell you about the unicorn.
There's also two things that I would like if you guys had some spare. That I could utilize them more tomorrow. But I can definitely help you with the forge.
Yeah, speak your mind. Don't hold it in.
Yeah, just need a set of smith's tools and just a pouch that you guys might have lying around.
We got smith's tools for days, and there should be a pouch in the back room. Go ahead and grab what you need.
Sounds good.
You can see there are smith hanging all around this forge. You can put together a set for your own. But yeah, give me a hand and go ahead and roll with the newly handed smith set as you work today. With
that, why did I roll stealth? That's no.
You use the roll and change the modifier. 16 plus whatever. I'm also gonna assume it's actually nearest, maybe a 17 or sorry, a 23 probably.
Smith's tools, I'm proficient, and I'm using strength. Oh god, that's a -1 in strength. So it's actually 16 plus 2, so 18.
Not bad. Yeah, you and actually roll with advantage because you are working with somebody. So just go ahead and hit that plus button, or you could actually hit the actual dice roll if you would like.
I'll just do it. Yeah, same thing.
Exact same thing. Wonderful. Yeah, you get to work alongside Samal. Some God's blood gloves would be awesome. They're just oil rags. They're just rags that he uses to wipe off God's blood that he hands you, and you can wrap them up. He goes, they're kind of, well, they'll be like a one-off sort of deal, and they may burn you a little bit, but they should do the trick. Maybe just let go of them after you do your punching.
What if we make a rag and you throw that and then sunbolt?
I have oil rags for days. In fact, they're gathering in a pile over there. Don't put any flame in that corner. Actually avoid most flame in here. You are welcome to use my facilities. If you have any questions, do ask. There's a garden in there. That is Samal's. Don't touch anything or she will kill you. And I think she's serious when she says that. Entirely sure. I lock my room at night. But yes, any questions, anything you need, I will be sort of moving Burjal all day. If you need to stop, let me know. It can get cooped up in here, and I've never had so many people in here at once. So yes. Get
Thank
to
you
it then.
Very much, Neft.
Please, no. You are helping me. Thank you. You. And he like runs into the forge, and Samal comes out wiping her hands with sort of a rag, and walks to the charting room. He begins pulling like a series of levers, which you can hear moves machines within the within this contraption. Just sounds like steam being released in various parts as throughout the sort of metal contraption. You guys are left to it throughout the day as this machine burrows through the sand. What would you like to do, if anything, with this time?
Get a bag of rags.
Get a bag of rags. Those are easy to find. You can do so.
Make sure
Look
they're isn't coated
Actually, I'll just
super dirty.
pass.
You run them along gears as they pass. Definitely
I'll
fucking with me.
I'll just ask Nev if they have like research on God's blood written down that I can take a look at. If they're okay sharing it, I can understand also if he views it as like some proprietary trade secret and doesn't want to though.
Neft goes, my library is your library. You should see those walls there are lined with books. Feel free to access those as you see fit. There should be some information in there about God's blood, and its uses. There are a number of purposes. Are you familiar with alchemy at all?
A very small amount.
Well,
Very much a beginner.
up on the top shelf, sort of last book. I think it's a few in there. The red binding. Those are some alchemical notes I've put together, sort of like a cheat sheet. If you ever find yourself in need of training, use that. As well as it should help you find with some sort of quick tips. It's all yours. I can put together another one. It's handwritten.
Are you sure?
Of course, it's my own personal notes. It's all up here. I've been doing this for longer than you've been alive, probably.
Very, very possibly. Well, thank you, Neft. I will. Yes, I greatly appreciate you sharing all this.
That's mostly alchemical stuff. However, the rest, there's things across the board. I have been able to find out God's blood, incredible purposes in other already existing concoctions. Some dangerous, and I have definitely made mistakes along the way, but some interesting developments a lot as well. Anyway, I have to get back to work. And he sort of goes back into the forge. They are quite busy working. You can ask them questions as you do, but like they are flipping back and forth between working with Grin in the forge, as well as charting a course on the machine front. Grin, as they're working, Samal goes, "This is pretty much our day in and day out. Moving the machine and working in the forge. Not a bad life. He pays well. I think you were smart to sign up. He's gonna take over for me for a bit. We sort of have a schedule, but he's actually the better enchanter. I'm the better smith. Work with him with some of your neat contraptions as well. I just make the parts. I'll be back. And she switches with, or I'm sorry, they switch with Neft. You and Neft work on Grin throughout the day, and he can help you put idea from paper on into the world, as any of you are welcome to do it. Use this time to anything.
Neft, I got a question for you.
I assume Oberon makes a meal out of what he's got here. You do see there are
that's
cooking.
just normal.
You do see there are cooking supplies in here. Go ahead and make a Constitution check with proficiency, please.
Wait, with proficiency, so
Yeah.
+2, so 14.
Plus 3.
15.
15 total.
Mhm.
You sort of like prepare a sort of fruit parfait.
Parfait.
Thank you. I think it was a puree. That wasn't it.
A fruit platter.
A compote?
What?
No, that's not it.
I would
Parfait would be like
platter.
whole fruit,
Yeah, like a
whole fruit
platter.
with like yogurt.
You want a fruit charcuterie board?
Basically, yeah.
Our fruitery board.
Charcuterie board.
Yeah, charcuterie board.
Charcuterie
I
bar?
love that.
No, we're on Twitch. We can't say that.
Nope, that's what
Oh.
we're doing.
You can say coochie on Twitch. Can I say coochie on Twitch?
Charfruit.
The 5
Twitch
people.
and
Oh,
say
stream's
no.
still up, not banned yet.
Okay, we're good.
Charcuterie boards. Fruity coochie
You,
boards.
as sort of running past, grabbing some of it, Neft puts, takes a bite, runs back, grabs a second, and then runs back. He goes, it's like lightly spiced with what they had available. And he goes,
What?
Samal looks like he's gonna give you a run for your money. Samal goes, I'm not a cook, I'm a blacksmith. Make me cook. And then she leaves and he goes, I don't make you cook. You cook. Because I'm bad at cooking. Now, what are we doing here? As he looks at your plans and joins you at work, you guys continue to move as Samal works the levers. Roll here.
Bastion will enter the forge to where Neft is.
Mm-hmm.
Neft, is there any specific materials that I can forge a blade out of for a new halberd?
Apologies. There
Does it say
are
autopilot?
what'd you say? Sorry.
Does this thing have autopilot with you doing that?
Hey, Samal's driving right now. He looks up. I have plenty of materials through here to help you craft a weapon of your choice. What weapon exactly is your choice, in fact?
A halberd, moderately longer than usual. Instead of being around 6 foot, it's about 6'5" in its length.
That is easily and And besides that,
that is just my main weapon.
you have no sort of insight over how to spice it up a little?
Not particularly. I was made over function over form.
I'm looking for something a bit more inspired to craft, but I'm willing to work with you.
I don't mind if you want to add your own form to its function.
I need inspiration, though. Work? Tell me a bit about yourself. As he's like working, clang, clang, clang. He's just like looking to the side, just like not at all looking where his hammer's swing. A number of times, like Grin, you're an expert. I mean, you're not an expert smith.
I've had some dabblings.
Yeah, you're quite known to hit your fingers, as you swing your hammer. As you get the job done, sometimes it's just hard work as your mind is always in numerous places. He is just not looking at the forge at all as he is, as he's swinging and hitting the anvil. He is just wrapped in conversation. You're just like sweating for him as his like thumbs, thick and calloused, are just like inches away from where the hammer strikes.
Every so often, like a centimeter, like too close. Like just right at the nail head.
But yeah, he swings with force without a care in the world.
Bastion would just say the only things I truly remember was that before I was powered down, I had talked to Dr. Shisisi, but then I was my original form. But there's not much other than being made to protect and to fight. Like I said, form over function over form. But I am an amalgamation of many different types now. So maybe something of gears or the hard angles of this Tel'Daziran style to be put into the design.
That gives me a bit of insight into you, which is good. Built to fight and protect.
I mean, my moniker is Bastion.
Amalgamation. I suppose. I will work on a weapon for you. Do you know the forge?
Yes.
Get in here.
Gotta do repairs on myself.
Work alongside me. You can begin on the sort of base weaponry. You make your polearm. I will craft a little extra add-on. How does that sound?
That sounds completely fine with me.
I'll make it a little Tel'Daziran. Gives you a wink and then heads to a drafting table. Bailey, hey! No.
Oh no, the puppy's in trouble.
Oh shit! Oh.
I had a crazy idea.
Say it. Say it aloud.
What if I found a way to like install some components on beaks that like I can like use a crank on his back to like cycle through and then fire like acid or some sort of poison out of his beak?
Do you are you saying this out loud?
I can. I was just saying it while you were gone, but I do say it out loud. I was gonna ask Neft about it.
Well, as you say this idea, as you're working with Neftis, he pulls out a like roll of parchment and goes, "Well, it's funny you would say something about that." As he spreads it out on a table nearby, I had some ideas as well. As he shows you a drawing that is of a flying metallic bird with talons breathing fire.
Oh yes.
This would require us to get more God's blood, though, as it would require a fuel.
Why would it require a fuel? What fuel source is going to be used for?
God's blood.
What will
Well,
it
the
use the source
flamethrower.
for?
For the flamethrower.
God's blood is highly
And it
combustible.
burns
Use
so
the-
well.
I like it.
Has
Yes.
this guy imbibed?
Hmm?
Has this guy imbibed God's blood?
Make an
I don't know.
in-
He's
I
giving me.
think, I
Insight
think he's just secretly a pyromaniac.
Yeah.
That's why he says no open
Secretly?
flames, because he's just gonna lose control and start like setting everything on fire.
I'm
love
sorry.
that for him.
Secretly?
Yeah.
Mhm.
He is the pyroman.
Openly.
17.
You don't think he's imbibed. He is drunk on invention.
My kind of man.
You can see
Okay.
you can see the glint of diamonds in his eyes. Which is an expression gnomes would understand.
Mm-hmm.
And in
So-
that sense only grin.
Do you need
Do I
to do
see if Grin shares that sentiment?
Grin, are you inspired by this drawing?
I am very inspired by
Yes,
the drawing.
and it's the same look. Grin, you know, diamonds in the eye means sort of, and it can be associated with a madness, but it's a madness for sort of creation. The Diamond Age was a term coined by the gnomes as the period that brought about the Days of Chaos, where like arcane invention and sort of spellcraft had reached its highest peak. Cities had begun to take to the plains outside their own and to the skies, and you know, wizards started to reach for godhood. The Diamond Age, and ones with the touch of diamond are said to also be touched by Kellig Nicholchin, the god of invention and knowledge, the gnomish god. Probably your patron god, I'd imagine.
Mine is
Grin.
actually Sigil Smoke Whistle.
Oh, is it Sigil? Yeah, that makes sense. You're either Kellig or Sigil, basically.
Yeah.
Basically they're the two. One is more wild than the other. You're often, it is said you would have the opposite expression, meaning that people will see a light of fire in your eyes, or the red of rubies, which just means run.
And Grin right now is definitely like thinking back, like with this connection with Neft and like the interaction of like their sharing of these crazy ideas. He's definitely feeling like kind of that misconnection that he's had recently, of like it not being around his adoptive father.
You do share that moment though with Neft, which is nice because Neft is definitely a more experienced artificer, which you can feel, but he is sharing that like you get that gnomish sense of invention from him, and you both do have red in your eyes as you're standing in front of the forge with this idea, and there's just like fires reflecting in your vision at this moment. Sigil Smoke Whistle. Yes, of course. Yeah, that is true because Right. We talked about this.
Do you need me to do a check for forging?
Yes, please.
It's just strength plus proficiency?
Yes, and you also can have advantage, as you have help here.
Thank God for advantage.
In crafting. Well, Samal is at work in the engine room. If you would like to go through the shelves, like you were suggesting, you may do so. Hoffs, I'm sorry, the bookshelves. To elaborate, which shelves?
Yeah, I figure I'm gonna like gather up all the books I want to take a look at now, so that I can note down, names and stuff. So even if I don't have the time to read them, I can find them later.
Yeah. What are you looking for exactly?
The first thing is, I've got the alchemy book, and that's what I'm going to start reading when I have the time. In terms of like, the books I'm looking for now, I'm looking for the stuff mostly on God's blood, and a couple other basic alchemy things, but I mostly trust whatever Neff's written down on that. So mostly the God's blood specific research. And preferably if I can find things that are like the alchemical focus stuff is fine, but I'm like really curious about the more magical specific properties beyond just the, it's flammable, it's a reagent.
Yeah.
I love her.
And it's even hard. I bet it'll be even harder to find, but things on the mental effects of people who actually imbibe it would be interesting.
Definitely.
But I understand if he doesn't have that.
I love her. I love that dog. I love that loud dog. In fact, I love both of those loud dogs behind him because there's two. Dos Equis dog.
Dos Equis.
Dos Equis dog. What's Ignacio doing right now?
That's a good question.
Ignacio, what's you doing?
Ignacio?
Yeah.
Well, I figure at this point he doesn't have his pipe anymore, nor does he have anything to smoke. So he's probably just trying to bite the habit by fiddling with his holsters that are now empty. And he's sitting by the fireplace.
He's just being lonely.
He
and
doesn't
depressed.
he doesn't know what to do with himself. He's lost some important items. He's lost his hat.
You look
his
sad.
guns.
So
I am
Avery will go to you and be like, he has oily rags in his workshop if you want to clean them.
Why would I want to clean rags?
So you're not sitting here looking unfortunate. Pat your shoulder and I walk to the library. Like
He
walk
doesn't
away.
know whether to feel offended or to feel
This
like
is
this
not
is
the first time this kind of engagement has happened between them.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. So he's like, I don't want to feel offended by a kid, cause this is stupid, but still, it's like kid's a fucking smartass.
Yeah, Avery is smart, you're right. Avery would follow Hoffs and just like see what he's doing. Because he has nothing better to do. Also cute. Actually, Avery will bother Hoffs. Avery will bother Hoffs.
Oh,
So
you're
like,
gonna bother me now. Oh boy.
so like, I forget. Where'd you get that book?
You asked about this before, and I think I pretty
forget.
clearly stated I found it in the middle of the desert.
Does it
Does it talk to you?
Does
Sometimes
it?
magic things
I
talk.
a lot of magic books, and I have yet to find one that's talked to me.
You're educated, correct?
I am that.
What's the craziest thing that's happened while you were being educated?
I was being I mean,
Like
you want like teenager shenanigans
Yeah,
crazy?
that's exactly what I want. Actually, yes.
That's exactly what you want. You
That's
want teenager
exactly what I want.
shenanigans crazy.
Yes.
How
So-
did you do it?
Do what? What's it?
Hey guys,
I'm just messing with you.
No,
Oh wait, pause real quick. What's up, Bill?
I have to leave.
Thunderstorm warning.
Storm's getting a lot worse. Family wants me downstairs.
Be safe.
Okay.
Message us when it's over, okay?
Will do. I'll message you
stay
at 9
safe.
a.m. when it's supposed to end.
That's exactly what I expect. Thank you.
Okay, be
Yeah.
safe. Love
Bye,
you,
Bubs. Be
bye.
safe. Text us.
see ya.
We will use Bastion to his full capacity.
Yep.
What's it?
Bye.
I just shoot a look at Ignacio, just like, and just say, "Why did you bring this up?"
Ignacio wandered to the library from in front of the furnace?
Yeah, I wandered in.
What's it? Like more
I'm
teenage
refraining from
shenanigans?
comment. This I did not bring up this.
What's
Have-
just tell me your
We haven't
shenanigans.
exactly interacted much, you and I. I figure I
Mhm.
should rectify this.
Do you
And
want
he
to do
lowers his head and lifts an eyebrow.
pranks with
Oh,
Havs? Like Havs did pranks in his education?
My pranks
Half
were-
seems pretty straight laced. I don't think he would have done.
Then why do you think he
anything.
would have done it?
Well, that's the thing. I want to know if I'm wrong.
oh my!
Were you pranking? Were you doing it, Havs?
I was pretty straight laced, but
You knew people that were doing it.
that's because I treated the magic that I was studying with respect. Because enchantment is stuff that you don't just mess around with, because that ends really poorly. All right, so
Never
you
known
want to
someone
hear
biblically.
about?
Or wait, I can't say biblically because I don't think Chris would have. Is there?
There's many
such
Bibles.
thing?
Is there a Bible?
There's many Bibles.
It's just not. It's just not.
I don't know. They're Bibles, but they're holy books.
There's a bunch of
Yeah,
holy
holy
texts.
There's so much
Yeah,
different
so I
holy-
can say that. Yeah, you've never known somebody built biblically.
No one knows the gods intimately. We just hope to understand them.
I agree with that statement. That's just about all you can hope for, really. But yes,
If this isn't
people-
clear, I'm coming on to Hoffs.
no, it's abundantly clear, and Haas is like
Avery is so
wildly
confused.
not dealing with it right now. At the very least, in front of the
Okay,
child.
but what about these pranks? What were you doing? If you weren't doing it, who was doing it? What were they doing? Who are they doing it to?
The people who thought that messing with other people's minds was
Their minds?
funny. Yes, because I studied enchantment in school. So that's why I say I treat my magic with responsibility, because messing with people's minds and figuring out what people think and messing with what people think isn't a joke. It's not a game. It's why I
That's-
do it when
But
you
you
guys
have
are
the
in
power
danger,
to.
and I try to avoid it as much as possible, because that can go to people's heads.
What was the
Yeah.
worst trick you saw?
I mean, the worst
Who
tricks
did
aren't
it
really,
the worst?
because we're all students, we couldn't do anything extremely terrible, but like it's just not a good thing to see, like, you know, see people get gradually mentally unhinged as time goes on. is the way I. But sure, when enchantment spells are repeatedly cast upon you, it's not like that's a. Magic still has effects. Things still happen. If you're repeatedly, basically, your brain is repeatedly instructed to go insane, well, your brain's going to get in the habit of going insane, isn't it? Right?
Sense.
If the pathway to that thinking is open and left open, the floodgates get easily muddled. I get it.
Yeah, so it's just like enchantment isn't. It's funny when you make somebody do some little thing they weren't supposed to do in a moment, but that can get out of hand really quickly when it's a bunch of immature teenagers.
I was about to say, if it was a common occurrence, who's to say who was doing it at all? So I'm guessing there had to be some policing. Not exactly police.
At the end of the day, I think the threat of people doing it kept everybody else on guard, and so you could crack down on it that way, but just through social pressure, because it's all a social game in the end. But some people just kind of like to watch things fall apart.
Some people
and
just
so they
like to
don't
watch
really
people
care.
do it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
Do you like watching people do it? I'm sorry. I'm gonna leave now. And he
you just hear stop in your head.
But he just said he doesn't like the pranks. He's a good boy.
Look, Avery, just frankly, I hope you don't go around trying to do the magic that I do, because I don't think it's morally dubious at the best of times. Messing with people's brains is, in my view, it's violating something sacred. That's something, in theory at least, for you and you alone. And you're only supposed to really intrude on it when you have to. Whether or not people are good about that is an entirely different question. Alright, but just, if you're going to do things, try to do them honestly.
Be genuine.
Mm-hmm.
Understood.
Yeah. So, you asked about pranks, I'm not going to share them, because most of them ended pretty poorly.
Oh, there's no fun doing it then, because it always ends, someone's always hurt.
Yep. Not, with enchantment anyway. I'm sure if I had studied just about any other kind of magic, this could have been a very different conversation. But
okay, I'm here just to do whatever you're doing, because I have nothing helpful to do on this ship.
You want to learn alchemy? Come help me learn alchemy.
I remember the alchemy. I remember all the stuff we learned about the tools and stuff from.
Yeah, we got some basics from the. God, yeah, we learned alchemy from the cult, so Lord knows what kind of stuff we learned wrong from the cult. Regardless, I trust Neft a bit more than I trust them.
Yeah.
So we'll figure stuff out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I assistant him. What's it called when you study under someone? I apprentice him.
Yeah.
Yeah. No doing it.
God.
Alchemy.
Yeah.
What are the book you gave?
Whatever they're called.
Dragons!
Oh boy. That's what that cantrip feels like. It's just yelling its name over and over in
No,
every
look at this
conceivable
thing.
situation. Yeah, okay.
I was contemplating
Investigation.
ceremonying you, but I don't know if it'd be helpful right now.
It's not. Alright. How do I... Okay, that's 1, 2... Wow. Alright, 16.
Plus a d4.
Oh, plus it. You're right. Thank you.
I got you. I'm a good apprentice.
Oh, dirty 20 then. Nice. Hmm.
Can tell Hobbs things. I remember how I gained 2 proficiencies, and I was like, these were the most situational. So I am proficient in alchemist tools and brewer's supplies.
Let's go 3. Mhm. Sorry, 1 second. A successful investigation check on the book gives advantage on any alchemical check. Okay. Okay. So once, okay, give me knowledge through book DC 18. Okay, sorry. So just to run through, so I have it all. A successful investigation check on the book gives advantage on any alchemical supplies check. That's option 1. DC of 12. Okay, DC of 12. Alternatively, it can be used to gain advantage on any. You said intelligence saving throw. Do you mean intelligence check? Mhm. Oh, you roll the. So if someone is teaching you and you have the cheat sheet, you can gain advantage on that intelligence saving throw to learn. Okay, got it. To learn alchemical supplies when studying under someone. Okay, and then lastly, once a day, you can attempt to gain alchemy knowledge through the book, but that's a much higher check, DC 18. Okay. Great.
Yeah, I just left, so I'm looking
Get on Hobbs and you leave.
for something to do. I was actually gonna ask you if you had anything. See, I'm not exactly a very strong guy, so if you had anything a little bit tougher, not very heavy. Not exactly. Never really had to. Most of my fighting has been uh just trying to get one up on the other person. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I've been dealing most in leathers, but yeah, I have this little thing, and I'll take off the leather armor that I'm wearing. It's kind of beat up, but this is the most that I got, really. Like I said, or what we've been saying, we barely made it out of the situation with whatever we had on our backs, and what we got lucky to try to hide. So, the most they left me with is, this, and I have the equivalent of a very sharp butter knife. I think that'd be great.
Oh yeah. I honestly can't think of anything. I do not. I prefer my fists. I mean, unless like knuckle dusters would be addition.
That would be interesting. Making the schematics in his head. The diamonds! The diamonds! Well, he's a Tin Man. I, you see, he's a lot better suited to action than words. He's saved me plenty of times. I would like to not be such a detriment to the party. Um, we got into a couple of scrapes, and if it wasn't for the kid that's bothering that guy in there, I wouldn't be here.
Shout out my girlfriend for telling me that my audio was muted.
Oh my god!
Oh jeez.
Not this entire time, just when the dog was barking. My audio.
Oh, gotcha. So we've all been talking to nothing.
To nothing.
You know, when you look at the void, sometimes the void speaks back and you don't want it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I love you too, girlfriend. Anyway. You all
a combination of that little kid and that big Tin Man, I wouldn't be here.
Yes, I trust you. It takes tough folk to wander the desert with nothing but a butter knife.
I'm what you
Holding
would
up that
call
knife, you.
a glass cannon.
Well, let's reinforce that glass a little, don't you think?
I think that'd be a good idea, Neft.
I will get you, see if I can't come up with a design for a nice pair of gauntlets. And gauntlets? Gauntlets? No.
You tried.
Anyway, and you armor. To the table! And he runs off to a crafting table.
Oh, you know what would be cool, Neft?
Yes?
Just had the idea.
I love ideas.
If something hit me, because you see, I have this spell. Can I like? I don't want to cast it, but is there like a? I can make multiples of me. You see, and if they hit me, it'd be cool if it hurt them. I don't know.
I'm sorry. Say that again. You have a spell to make multiples of yourself.
Yes.
And what can I do for that?
I just think if the armor had some sort of harming mechanism that only hurts other people when they hit me, I think that would be cool. Maybe with the fact that I can make my own poison.
Well, I don't know if I can do anything about that. I can, however, magnetize your armor so it can catch missed arrows that are fired at you.
Oh. Well,
That way, if this mirror image gets shot, it sticks to your armor magnet.
That's why you're the idea guy. I like that idea.
Suppose if were to
make your image explode.
What?
Now you're thinking, but I don't know how you do.
Now
You
you're
were
thinking with
to-
explosions?
Maybe dodge the armor?
Oh, I don't have anything for that yet. I
Nope.
mean, I could learn, I could ask. I mean, like
Could
I
ask.
said, friends,
Oh, right,
friends
the
on the other
demon.
side.
Is it a demon or a devil? Probably a devil. Demons are much harder to pack.
It's something fiery, I assure you.
Fire. Ooh, no fire in here, please. There are ice
I
demons.
wasn't planning.
Well,
I'm pretty attached to the one I have.
I see. Well, I will get back to you. I will think on the matter. I don't have the supplies, necessarily at the moment to provide arcane implements to these wares.
No, I didn't. I wasn't expecting anything like that.
But if I can prepare you an armor to hold you for some time,
I would appreciate it.
there are things. Anyway, I must get to the drafting table. And he runs over and just starts. Keep thinking. Ideas are welcome. He is like drawing with two hands. You are.
He's ambidextrous? That's cool.
100%. This man is wild. For a dwarf. And I will say, like, this is as much as dwarfs are crafters, this man is probably considered odd amongst dwarfs. Much more technical and sort of proper than many dwarves you have met, if you have met dwarves. they the pair of them kind of like swap back and forth once more from forge to sort of controls as you guys move through, as you watch as you dress up plans on the side. You guys shake and jolt about at different points as you move through the sands, and eventually I need everybody to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh shit.
So I guess at the exact same thing, you do the exact same time. I want you to know this. I need you to know this specifically, that we are the same person.
Dexterity saving.
Dex save. I'm so dexterous.
Raggy.
How are you people
Ooh,
rolling
yeah.
disadvantage?
That's a 10.
Oh.
That's a 7, sir.
No guidance on saves.
With the new
That's how
thing,
you.
yeah. So you can either do it that way, or you can hit. I believe control is advantage, shift is disadvantage when you click stuff.
Okay.
So it's
The other way I just figured out was after you roll, you can click a plus on the side of the thing.
Yes.
You mouse
It's
over
also
it. Okay.
when you use spells, it's going to roll your damage automatically. As same with attacks. It just kind of speeds everything along. So if you want to roll, instantly with advantage, I believe it is control click. Back here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so control click.
That's what it looks.
Instantly roll with.
That was disadvantage.
So control is disadvantage. Shift is advantage.
And then shift is advantage.
And then alt.
Alt
click brings up that box that we love. So if you click alt click, it won't roll it automatically. It'll bring up that thing where you can click advantage, disadvantage, and add any modifiers that you would do. So alt will be your alternative roll. You can also, I believe, hotkey other things in the settings, control and shift, if you would like. So if you have like alt, no, I think what it is I think you can, I think there is, if you go into certain abilities, you can edit them and set alternate roles. So like if you have a versatile role, I believe quick roll. So does anybody use a longsword here that I can use as reference?
Maybe
no.
B45.
I have a short sword.
No, I need something with a versatile.
He's
got an he's got a long.
If you got a staff would work.
He does that. Staff would work. Okay, yeah. So there is a quick roll tab on things with a versatile thing, that will you can set your specific roles if I'm mistaken. So default role, you set your default role options in there. So main content set to be.
I didn't mean to roll that.
Fine. You can also check description if you want your description in there. But yeah, important thing. Fine. Can set what if you're versatile attacking.
Nice.
I will test it. If I alt click, there's it. If I control click,
I gotta pee, I'll be back.
it rolls it with disadvantage.
That took advantage, actually.
No, it
that
took
was
disadvantage.
Oh, no,
I
it was
rolled
just-
25.
They're just kick-ass roll.
It threw me off because I'm used to the smaller number being on the left side. That was the first time a smaller number was on the right.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Okay, well, that alt click just shares it. I swear there was a way to Oh well, I'll look it up in the settings. Anywho, while you guys are moving, anything? I'm so sorry. What am I saying? You guys just crashed.
No, we didn't crash. No,
You guys just crashed. You guys all hit the wall suddenly. I need to hit this roll button.
Ignacio eats shit.
Yeah.
You guys take 3 points of damage if you failed that save.
What was your DC?
You rolled with advantage. What did you have advantage from?
I didn't. I thought I heard you say that, but I misheard.
No. So it was a 9. Yeah, the DC was 12.
Yeah, you failed either way.
Yeah, okay. You failed. Ignacio, you failed.
And
Avery, you failed. You guys both fling against a near hard object and hit the ground with a thud. You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage. You hear a thunk, crank, as the machine comes to a stop suddenly. Embers fly from the crate, which swings open. A bunch of books fall from the shelf. As you hear from the back, damn! Sorry. Is everyone okay? I'm so sorry. Apologies. This happens sometimes. I assume we hit, what do you think, a rock? What does it look like? I think it's a rock. I hope it's just a rock. You watch as Samal comes out of the front room. She's holding her head as she enters. She goes, sorry. We chart course under the sands. We never know when we're gonna hit deep rock. It seems we've hit deep and hard rock. We're unable to burrow through here. We'll have to go around.
Would it not be quicker to go on the surface, or is the risk seen as too great?
We can definitely check surface. We just, prior to leaving, must check our surroundings. Not everyone should see what we're dealing with here. As she says that, turn around and enter cockpit. The rest of you, as things start whirring throughout the place, make a perception check for me, everybody. Anybody who would like to.
Sure.
I accidentally rolled nature. It's my bad.
I'll take a perception.
So it's actually a 14.
Because I'm nosy.
Perception.
13 plus 4, 17.
Oh, that's a 2 for a 6, but still a 2 on the die.
Better than a 1.
Better than a 1.
Just better.
You go blind for a moment. Even though you didn't fall, I must have run into you.
I did fall. Huffs.
Oh, we both ate shit together.
Oh, yeah.
Unity.
Yeah. Ooh. Hoff channeled his inner real me, and his eyesight just actually went.
I feel that in my bones.
And then he doesn't have the glasses.
Wait, I don't, because I have a great center of gravity, actually.
As you guys move, here, you move closer up in a vertical direction. You guys kind of hold on as things begin to slant. As you guys begin to rise up to the surface, and as you level out once more, you begin to stabilize. As Neft, sort of picking up some of the books, goes, sorry. This happens sometimes. There is an enchantment to keep them in place, but certain stops are a little harder than others, and, well, it only works minimally. Anyway, I will be right back. Let me check the surface to see if it's safe. And he goes scurrying up a ladder at the end of the tail through the workshop. As you guys sort of like sit underneath the surface of the sand, a layer, Oberon, your ears are perked pretty quickly by the sound of wings beating overhead. It's distant, but you can hear a rhythmic beat.
We're definitely close to the surface.
Yeah, you know that. Say that as
Yeah,
the rest of you start to like hear the beats of the wings. Avery is mentions that you can start to listen closer past the drum of the engine to the beating of the wings. Oberon, you start to ping it as 3 beating wings. And by your judgment, as you're sort of like sitting there really astutely kind of like listening with your ears just like twitching, you can pinpoint it to be 3 large critters, whatever they are. Their wing beats must be loud, if not just above the surface of the sand, for they carry enough noise to beat through. As you make this realization, you hear, as you heard him leave, you heard like a clang as a door shuts at the top of the ladder, and you quickly hear a moments later clang as he comes down the ladder again a moment later. He goes, yes, no, surface is not the option. Surface is not the option, as he starts to move toward the machine.
Not an option, but what is?
Big birds, we do not want to mess with, as we would look like prey to them. And he just starts to work levers. Let's get moving, Samal! We do not want to stay near the surface. As you hear, ah! Oh, screech through the air over the surface as noise gets made as they start to move suddenly.
I don't like that sound,
toward
Neff.
the machine. Nope, neither do I. Get moving, Burrow. And then you feel yourself start to tilt as you start to lower through the sand. I'm going to make an attack. Big birds, do you know what a rock is? Well, 3 of them, in fact, all around what seems to be a rather large nest in a very large, towering mesa. Let's move. As he seems to be in a panic.
Is it like backing down and like this is the front, right? Is this still the closest part to the surface?
No, the tail is, because the tail protrudes, is like the telescope that he uses to protrude out of the sand, and he just came out of the tail in a panic as he needs to get to the controls right now.
Alright, can I run to the tail? I've never been there, so here's hoping it works. But you said it's a telescope, right?
It is.
Or a periscope or something like that?
You've seen it sort of unfurl from the outside. It works like a scorpion's tail, where it goes low when it is in the sands, and it sort of uses it to move about the sands. It makes a loud noise as the panels kind of move side to side, and it uses it as like a rudder almost to steer itself sometimes. Right now it is in an up position where the ladder is in use to get to the upper levels.
God, I'm gonna take a really big risk, I think. Just on the off chance that it's necessary. I'm gonna run up there. And how far away are the rocks if I can see?
You're gonna run in to see.
Yeah.
You climb up the ladder and you open the door, the hatch, to which you don't see any sort of glass pane or anything like that. There's no vision. There's just a orb sort of in a just in a ring, just kind of like gyrating there. in the center of this like sort of encased metal room. It is arcane in nature, and you can see a number of dwarven runes carved around it in a blue runite sphere. But you have a moment to react. What are you doing?
Do I recognize anything on it in terms of
make an Arcana check in a moment.
You said Dwarven, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do want to know. I read Dwarvish. I have that as a proficient language.
Yeah.
I just, for whatever that's worth.
Definitely go ahead and make an Arcana check. That is worth.
Okay. Nice. 16.
This is some sort of searing divination magic, and it is a runite orb. Which I think you would know quite well, which is a dwarven discovered material that is used for rune carving, and filled with ample sources, can just be overloaded with sort of magic for any sort of rune. This is a complex rune used for sort of scrying or vision or divination magic. You cannot say for sure in the moment.
All right. I don't know
how. It is
how
currently magically active.
It's currently magically active.
Yeah, it is just hovering there within an orb.
Like an orb. Can I just grab it? I don't know.
Reach out and grab it, and your vision goes, and you are just through the vision of a tail right now, looking up toward the sky as a bird comes down toward the tail. A big feathered rock.
Nice. Okay.
Did I see him go through the tail?
You did.
Do I still have an action? I understand if I dashed and did.
No,
I do.
Giant eagles.
I don't know what you're up to, but I bless you. I think that's the course of action here.
That's an appropriate course of action.
Bless?
Bless is not going to be much helpful here because I need to force them to make saving throws, and bless doesn't really help.
Okay.
Help with that.
So what are you casting?
I would like to ready. That is a wisdom save. That is also a wisdom save. Neither are super helpful here. Okay, how far away is the rock?
It is closing by the second.
Closing by the second. All right, yeah, sure.
You watch as its giant talons come swooping
60
down.
Feet.
Okay.
When it gets within 60 feet, I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whispers and hope it uses all its reaction. To move as far as its speed allows away from me.
Okay. Oh, this could be absolutely
It could also end with me.
It could also be your death. Yes. It could 100% be either. That is this game in a nutshell.
Here.
So let's go ahead and just throw that out there for fun.
Joy. Wonderful.
Just for the intimidation factor.
Yeah, this will end great.
So it needs to make a what saving throw?
Wisdom saving throw. I'm gonna use. Shit! It succeeds.
You were gonna use what?
I was gonna clarify what stat I was gonna use because that would modify the DC by 1. It beats both though. So.
Well,
regardless, that's that.
Can I do a cool thing?
Yeah. What would you like to do?
Can I come up behind Hafs and put the necklace around him?
Sure.
Okay.
What does the necklace do?
It do that.
When I feel it, okay, that could help. It might help. We'll see.
Okay, so you are both kind of like at the top of the ladder, though, when this rock strikes the tail. Just as you start moving, it is going to take an attack on the machine. It is going to be an attack at disadvantage.
Oh, it is. Okay. Oh, it rolled minimum damage.
Yes.
Oh. My computer.
Okay. Yeah, a rock is big, and you feel the force of 11 points of damage to the both of you. as the end of the tail just gets crushed.
Sorry.
Suddenly.
I'm up there too, unfortunately. I followed him.
All three of you are in a. Well, it's a. It is.
If we don't fit, I'm downstairs
small
waiting
space.
anxiously.
Well, no. Hold on. It is a small ladder, so you're all sort of like climbed up on a ladder. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw for me, please. Everybody but Hoff's on the ladder.
So it hit me, right?
Yes.
That's what.
Can I Hellish Rebuke it?
No. It's
Yeah.
not exactly hitting you so much as the end of the tail is crushing you.
Okay. Just one.
Yeah. You are it's also not a creature you can see. May be included with you. I'm actually not.
I think it is. I think it's a creature you can see within 60 feet of you that deals damage. So.
No, it's just that I point the finger at a creature that damaged me. It doesn't exactly say that I have to look at it or I have to see it.
Huh.
Okay, it does say that the creature that damaged you. This is an interesting wording for a spell.
No, you have to see it. You have to see it. I'm really sorry. In the casting time, it says one reaction which you take when you are damaged by a creature within 60 feet of you that you can see.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
really
hate to be the
long part
party
of that.
pooper, but
That really long.
However, 11 points of damage, 11 on the dexterity saving throw. You are holding onto the ladder. You also take 11 points of damage, Eggy.
Yep.
You are holding onto the ladder, though, with like a hand as you almost were first off of it, as you feel the whole thing begin to lurch. That was supposed to be a check, but nonetheless.
Now we all know.
You all
Can
feel...
give it... Sorry, can I give it disadvantage? With silvery barbs?
Yeah, that's a reaction. You still have your hand on the orb, so you can see outside.
Yes. Both.
Sure, you can give him disadvantage. Why not?
I just, on the off chance that the 20 would make it, I don't really want to... Oh, thank God.
Oh, wonderful. You feel as the bird grabs hold of the end of the tail and begins to pull out the machine from the sand. However, you can feel sand begin to burrow underneath you as the machine tries to move from underneath. You watch as you all try to escape vigorously. Burjal the Dune King is going to make an attempt to break out of this.
Burjal is the name of the scorpion?
Burjal the Dune King.
Yes.
Cool.
It's kind of badass.
Sort of metal.
Right? That's pretty good.
It's kind of cool.
Bro, Burjal is so metal.
Burjal is pretty metal.
The Dune
DC
King?
19 is what it's going to take to break out of here.
Ooh. Well, I hope he's strong. A big metal machine. I really would hope so.
Strength does seem to be his chief stat, but it also is for this large burb.
Can I bless the machine? Can I bless Burjal?
What does bless say?
It gives it a boon. It gives it a D4 to its saves.
No. What does bless say? Three
creatures of your choice.
It's a vehicle.
It's a
vehicle.
Wouldn't it? Can I augment the spell to just only bless the Burjal? And we'll wild magic about it?
Make a spell casting check for me. DC of 16 or 15.
It's a whiz roll for me, right?
Correct. Yes, with proficiency.
I'm just gonna click one of these that has proficiency then.
That's fine.
Where are you? Let's click medicine.
Oh,
Fuck.
Go ahead and roll another d20 for me.
Bitch. Fuck.
Wild magic.
Wild magic.
Gotta
I
keep
swear to
things
God.
wild.
Well, my shit reset. So. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
We'll
It's
find
a wild
out.
magic thing.
What? Mean?
What'd it do, Yugi?
Where's the book? I need a book.
You reach out to try to reach magic into this machine, and you grab the ground and channel. Your hands glow as magic begins to seep from your form as he makes a ability check. He fails as he tries to burrow into the sand. The machine, as plucked from the sand, you feel no resistance as you begin to take to the sky. In an instant, you guys all begin to fall. Go ahead and make dexterity saving throws once again, please, everybody.
22.
Can I just like use my wings to stabilize
Oh my
myself?
God. I
You're
keep
gonna need to make a
rolling
dexterity
shit.
saving throw,
Okay.
but you can at advantage.
I keep rolling fucking 8s.
I'm gonna cry.
What is the 22?
Oh,
My thing didn't go through.
How
I'm
would
assuming you
you
probably
add a
see it
D4
then.
to that roll?
That's what I
Oh,
s- I
wait,
just wanna
no,
know.
no.
I don't have a book.
So, fun fact about wings, if you didn't know,
Hey yo.
I forgot to hit the advantage.
flying creatures,
But still, not 20.
if you have an action or for flying creatures to like my rule on reducing falling damage, like if you, as long as you're not like completely restrained, if you have your wings available but you're still falling, you can, that still can be the case, you know, if you don't have the time to react basically in a turn to fly. Basically the difference is you use your movement to sort of counter the falling momentum. Basically, so if you say fall 500 feet a turn, but your dash would get you, your full movement, they would get you 80 feet, you technically only fall 420, and you take 42 d6 worth of fall instead of the full 50. Does that make sense? It's just like your
Makes
full
sense.
movement.
Still
counts.
hurts, but it makes sense.
42d6.
Yeah.
Not specific.
It doesn't hurt like here, for instance, when the max fall damage is like 40 feet, and you can counter that with most. But
I did nat 20.
You did nat 20, so you don't even fall. You beat your wings as you start to fall and just grab onto the ledge of the table, which is bolted.
Hops, do you want flavoring for what happened? For the D4?
What's the D4
What
for?
happened for the D4? It's the.
My pact boon, my
Well, actually, I want to check the wording on that.
my
Oh,
talisman.
It does say ability check,
Yes, it is only ability checks, I do believe.
which is not a saving throw, actually. Unfortunately.
I thought at a certain also wait shit.
Yeah.
Cause
Was
the
that, but
Darn. 12, however, is going to fail this time, as you guys are not jolted. You are completely vertical. 11 fails. 8 everybody fails. I think I need to roll for Bastion, though, actually. Everybody but Grin fails, I should say.
well, then you still have that ability thing.
Yep.
For
Bastion as well, as he grabs onto something quickly. Everyone else is going to take some falling damage.
It's okay, easy over there with the dice. Okay.
12 points of falling damage as you all hit various implements around the room and begin to tumble through the machine. It is lifted aloft, and you, with your hands once upon the ground, are lifted slowly from them as you tip over and start to fall toward the glass at the bottom. The panes at the front of the machine, in the operation room, you all begin to fall toward. As you watch, you're falling toward the glass. Moments after being lifted from the sand high, 5, 10, 20, 40 feet up, you begin to fly higher as a wash of golden energy washes over you all. and you appear suddenly on the ground. Everybody flat, hitting the ground with a thud as you are righted and upright once more, but in a flash of golden light and a wash of twinkling energy, you appear suddenly upon the ground with the sound of a "Ah!" overhead, echoed even louder by two more distant "Ah! Ah!" More flapping begins as you all hit the ground suddenly. Sort of heads pop up, stunned and confused, from both Neft and Samal. What just happened there? Are we on the ground? He sits up and starts looking around. What did you do? Looks at the kid. No time! And just rushes to a machine and starts pulling levers once more. Oh my god.
What was that? I don't know.
He struggles to as you all were falling, you saw nothing but gold before appearing on the ground once.
Is that good? Is that I don't okay.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I lost my streak.
You can watch as sort of appearing around you. Samal stands up as Neft is currently angrily working machine. You watch as he's getting little response from some of the levers. Oh boy, we're not out of the waters just yet. Brace yourself for yet another incoming attack, I'm sure.
Avery, could you heal me? I'll go back up there and try again.
I also want to try something kind of crazy.
What would you like to do?
I want to, if possible, because this is definitely not within the limits of the spell, I want to try and augment Expeditious Retreat by, even though it doesn't have an upcast, possibly casting it as a second level spell to affect instead of myself, Berjal.
Okay. Go ahead and
I
share
also
the spell.
have that spell. Can I help pump it into his spell?
You sure can.
Let's go.
You begin to cast, doing the same thing as previously. Okay. Go ahead and use a spell slot as well.
Yep, that used it.
I'm sorry, Ignacio. Yes. And what we will say is, you are assisting Grin, so Grin will have advantage on a check of a DC 15 check at advantage.
Sidebar.
Is it just a straight roll?
I'm about to pass out.
Well, no, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It is a roll with your spellcasting modifier.
Grazie.
I'm so sorry. What was that?
She's talking to me. Okay, I rolled significantly better for you.
That's a 21.
Because you love me.
Okay.
I love you.
The pair of you put your hands down upon the ground as Hoffs runs to the tail once more. Hoffs, you climb up, put your hand on the orb. You can see the rock is circling once more and beginning a dive bomb. As it seems you are not currently moving, as a leg is currently moving back into place. It is currently trying to do a digging process in a direction it is probably not supposed to be. You do see that the rock overhead is circling and beginning its dive once more as a wash of silvery energy now begins to cover the entirety of this machine, as both Ignacio and Grin hold their hands intently to the base of its interior as you come over, Avery, and hold your hand on Ignacio's shoulder, patching his wounds. The rock swoops and approaches. Are you doing anything once more, Hoffs?
Yeah, when it gets close enough, I'm gonna try to Dissonant Whispers it again and force it to make another Wisdom save.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have
What
Can I
was-
click it? So I don't know if it'll use the right stat here.
There you go.
No, that's cocked. Fuck that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's gonna fail. Because I used my wisdom.
As you peer through, you can see the two other rocks start heading in the direction of the now clear Scorpion as the machines begin to hurriedly work as the wash of energy kind of closes in. As the rock that attacked you a moment ago begins to swoop once more on its prey, your spell takes effect and you watch as it stops with a beat of wings and a bunch of sand is kicked up suddenly as it turns pace and starts to fly in the other direction. As you watch, the tail begins to straighten, elongate, as the rest of the machine begins to hurriedly dive, swimming through the earth like water at great speeds, beginning to move. You can hear inside, Neft goes, "Whatever you're doing, keep it up! I've never moved this fast before!" As he is just working a number of machines. Samal, get in here and help me, please! Get out of the tail in case we're attacked again! Oh boy! He's just like slamming machines left and right as he is panicking and running about. Samal runs through to the center of the machine and begins to work once more. They swoop lower and lower, and you guys have to hold on to things as you guys descend down within the earth. And after a few moments, you right, and Samal and Neft just drop to the plating. Thank you. You have all paid for yourselves already.
Yay.
Ooh, excited.
I go over to Ignacio and I'm just like, "Hey, thanks for the assist."
You...
Yeah, good fucking idea. I mean, hey. Made it? Question mark?
We're safe.
Yeah, we made it.
He walks out. We're safe. We're under the sands. Far below where a rock can travel. Oh, that is not marked on any map I have, so excuse me while I do that, he says as he moves to his map charts and just starts quickly editing. He draws like a large mountain, which you saw, Hoffs. It is just this large pyre in the middle of nowhere that has a giant nest at the top of it and three rocks swarming above it. He just draws a huge circle around a perimeter and just like X's out into this.
Do not go.
Fuck that place specifically.
Yeah.
At least not on the surface.
I go over to Haas and I pat his back gently because I know that he's probably as fucked up as I am.
I was at 3 hit points before Avery healed me. Okay.
No, you still look fucked up. More cure wounds.
Same you.
Yeah, did it again. Roll better, you fucking dice. I need this human. Okay, that's a little rude after what I just said. You know what? You take that. You take that.
Another 6. Okay.
You take 16.
I'm
what was
back
I gonna
around.
say? I pat his
I don't
back.
know. Here's your
Yeah, I
talisman.
Yeah, I tug the necklace and it just lets itself go and it just like back on his neck.
Yeah, it's just like in a single movement, just latches itself
was
like
that?
a lasso.
What happened?
What do you mean?
With what?
With the
birds?
gold?
With the birds?
With
the gold. I have no
What was
clue
that?
what happened with the gold.
Do
I have any clue what happened?
I was
with the
hoping
gold?
you knew.
I don't know. I just kind of tried
I
something
thought it was
new.
something you
Make
did.
make an Arcana check.
Arcana check. Yeah.
Can we make it together so I can give you advantage?
You can make your own if you would like.
I want to know. Puffs is smarter than me. He probably knows.
I also want to know.
I'll make one anyway because I'm just damn curious.
Oh,
I don't understand magic. I'm a holy man. Boy.
You, with that statement, Hoffs, you're the only one who really knows what happened. You just witnessed not a mage warp magic, but a cleric.
I don't know.
Tried
I
warping
don't know
magic.
what it was.
Gold.
Which is much like a prayer. You just get the suspicion that a prayer was answered.
Does it give any hint as to the deity, like anything about it, or is it just it's probably divine of some sort?
But you do know, you have heard of this happening before. What is not great is even when dealing with the gods, blessings like this don't often go unpaid.
Oh boy, we're gonna.
You look concerned.
You've heard it written that the scale has been tipped, which means
it's gonna
need to be righted.
Yeah.
Wronged before. I'm just saying.
With a 23 Hoffs. A proper and timely paid tribute to a shrine of the god that blessed you is highly advised.
Okay, and there's no hint as to who that could be, other than the fact that
probably
we have like
the
a cleric
that asked it.
Party.
That is a
probably
safe assumption.
The cleric that asked it.
They would have a lot more insight than you.
Okay.
I'll say that much.
God. Avery, did you pray to? It's not Zanara. It's whichever the.
It's Sket.
Saket.
Saket.
Saket. Did you pray to Saket in that moment?
I mean, I tried. I know the spell, and I tried to make it work on the machine instead of people.
What are you trying to say, Hav?
What? I'm just trying to say that if that was a prayer, that was the prayer answered.
Okay.
And yeah, no, we need to. Saket has tipped the scales in our favor, and so we need to tip them back to right. So let's just say we need to make a proper tribute to Saket, preferably as soon as we can, to like not incur the wrath of the god that just saved our lives.
I'll go pray now.
We're gonna need more than that. But I have no clue what we're gonna do. Is there Avery, are there temples to Saket? Or shrines or something of that sort?
Maybe if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure there aren't. Or if there are, they're like not as frequent as the mom.
So there are shrines. There are not so much temples as there are to the mom. But yeah, there are actually shrines, but they are very much hidden away, as the name.
But I know what they look like.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, there.
I mean, you know, if anybody can identify the iconography of Saket, I would hope it would be.
It's
me. The knowledge cleric.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
What's stopping Avery from making a shrine?
It's a great question.
Honestly, I don't know. I know pretty much nothing about
I think
the faith that people who follow Saket follow. So
religion check.
Religion check.
That you can
do I get advantage because it's my god and I would know how to do this?
No. This is just shrines in general.
Oh, okay.
All I'm hearing is this wasn't mine and Ignacio's fault.
Do you want my necklace so you can make it? Because it's an ability check, correct?
I mean,
yes.
Yeah, this isn't like a this is just a knowledge. You wouldn't know that they're making this. Religion check.
Okay.
No,
Never
fair
mind
enough.
I give myself
tried.
guidance.
I tried.
God,
Let's
wow.
use my pretty white dice.
At least there's the cantrip doing what
Let's
the
not use my white
cantrip
dice. Let's use this
does.
dice. Oh, nice. 9 plus 6 is 15.
Right at the cutoff.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, 15?
15.
Shrines are, I mean, sort of holy places to deities. They are blessed just as much as a temple. To bless one, you could, I mean, who knows? You were never involved in the process of blessing it. Maybe there may be a ceremony for it.
Ceremony? I got that spell.
But do you have it currently?
I have ceremony and it's a ritual, so I could ritually cast it if I just make a shrine to Saket.
Is it prepared?
I don't have to be prepared, it's a ritual
Oh,
spell.
that's right.
Yeah, goose.
Rituals are wonky that way.
I mean, you're not too sure. The ceremony spell does a number of things, but one of them is not blessing a land. There are higher level spells that you know greater clerics than you have access to. But I do not believe they are within your wheelhouse. Just do you have access to third level? Yes.
I do, yeah. I think I'm the only straight of my class in the party, other than maybe Oberon.
Yeah. Bellcaster.
Yeah.
I'm straight up my class, but I'm a half caster.
Yeah. I could make
Neft?
make. Okay. I can make a shrine. It won't technically be a blessed shrine, but I don't. But there are shrines, and we can find them around.
Okay, well, as I figured, that
Bless
is
you.
something that we'll have to put on the back burner because we're in the middle of nowhere, underneath nowhere.
I'll go pray real quick.
Yeah, go do your due diligence. That
I'm
was pretty prime though, kiddo.
Thank you. I'm gonna borrow your room, Neft.
Of course, don't touch anything in there, please.
I don't want to. And I go into his room, and I close the door.
What does he have in here?
What's he got? I don't want to touch it. I just want to know.
What's the name of the woman? What's her name again?
Samal.
Plants.
Samal.
Samal.
Yes. Samal.
I know. I was speaking to her. This is in character.
Yes, she corrected your pronunciation.
Oh, gotcha. Excuse me. Pardon. But I understand that we're gonna be helping you get God's blood. But if you had God's spirit right now, I would appreciate.
God's beard, like the plant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I got some God's beard right this way. And she
I follow her.
she walks over to one of her plants off into the corner, and you watch she sort of like pulls out a little box underneath one of the planters, and it's just a little box, and pulls it open. Got already like dried God's beard in there, and she's just got like she's just got papers.
I have papers.
Perfect.
I just ran out of.
She like rolls it up pretty proficiently.
And they're really pretty. They're like pristine black parchments. It's probably one of the like nicest things that Ignacio still has on him.
He just asks that I smoke it by this exhaust pipe he installed by me.
Oh, understandable.
Yes, he doesn't like this very old-fashioned that way.
I wouldn't want, the kids in the other room, and I don't want.
Yeah, of course. So you travel with a kid. What's that all about?
Well, like I said, sunken ship, and he just kind of. It was a really bad situation. I don't want to air out his shit, but from me to you, it was better that he came out of where he was.
Well,
He's really made. He still kicks my ass about shit.
He's clearly tough. He saved our asses back there, I think.
He's had to be, and it's really unfair. It doesn't seem like he really had a chance to be a kid. It was kind of taken away from him, at least from my perspective. You don't get a kid that's that much,
that much trauma.
Well, that much of a hardened character. I can't say that it was the best situation that he came with us. He got his freedom. But
well, if he keeps you safe, guess you guys need him. I'm kidding. Partly. Anyway, I actually have to get to the forge. I've got a lot of jobs I need to finish today if we're going to get you guys in fighting order by the time we reach our next pocket of Godsbeard. You enjoy. Let me get a hit of that before I go. Did I say beard? Oh god, it's hitting me already. Save the hit. I'll be back. Okay. And she walks out.
You've clearly had enough.
Clearly.
But I appreciate it.
She goes back to the forge, where she goes back to working on weapons with Bastion, as well as Beaks with Bryn, as currently in the front, toiling away with the machines, works Neft. He comes out and goes, that spell you all cast was perfect for getting us all away from that mess. I don't know if we'll do that again, but we could make great time if you're able. Anyway, for the time being, we should stop and repair. The tail has taken on quite a bit of structural damage, and I don't want anything to fall off in the sand. So, we're going to return to the surface. I ask some of you to keep lookout for me while I do some repairs. This is a minor setback, but with some assistance from Grin, possibly, and Bastion, we could make this quick work. What do you all say?
Yeah, sure.
Well, so we're not too far away from where we last were, so do keep an eye on the skies for giant birds and the such. Sound good? Any signs of a giant bird, do let us know, for we will submerge immediately. Alright, hold on to things, we're rising. You guys begin to slant slightly as you begin to burrow through the sands once more. You burst through the surface with a burst as you come to a stop. Yes.
The exhaust pipe is probably, or the exhaust vent is probably connected to a bunch of other pipes, right? So like
correct.
Stuff would echo?
Yes.
Can Ignacio scream through the exhaust vent? There needs to be fucking seatbelts in this thing!
You hear, like, shouted back, just going, just hold on to something bolted down. Nobody's died yet. Just been injured a bit.
I will open the door slightly. I'm very, very injured! And then I'll close the door again.
Okay, you can find a place to sit then. Hold on.
Pops is like crawled back into a chair at this point. He's just like he's at near full HP. He's just a little rattled.
There's some spare rope in the supply room. Strap yourself to something.
What is it, Ignacio?
You wanna
Their
hit?
blood on the chair.
Do you want to
Oh,
hit?
my blood on the chair. Yeah, like I'll press the digitation it away or whatever.
That's me as Ekina. I just noticed it on the map. There's blood
on the chair.
all everywhere.
I haven't checked the map in a little while.
Oh,
Yeah, there's
yeah,
a
that's
few places of
hilarious.
blood.
Nice.
You guys break to the surface as Neft runs through the place. He comes out and goes, "All right, we must be quick. Okay, I will open it up to the outside. You all, I don't know, keep us covered, I suppose, while I repair. You all step out as you can see the sand dune is in its resting, or the Dune King is in its resting position with its tail sort of unfurled to the back. As Neft runs about, he goes, Grin, some help, please. Bastion. Supplies? As you guys reach the tail, you able to help me, Grin?
Yeah, what kind of help do you want me to provide? I can just simply mend some things, or I can, use my little fingers to get into the tight spots.
Well, if you do not mind, go ahead and make a blacksmithing check for me. Or tinkerer's tools, whichever you prefer. You can actually make, make a check with tinkering tools.
That'd be Dex, right?
This will use your Dex. And you can have advantage as you are assisted by not only by Neft, but you also have Bastion nearby hammering out dents in the large pieces of metal.
So it's 20 plus 3 for my proficiency, so 23 total.
Oh shit, nice. You are working in the finer places, getting underneath the plating and sealing up parts which have broken to the inner plating. You are sort of moving along the bases of the tails for quite some time. This is not quick work. This is going to
anything that seems simple enough, I will cast mending.
This could take upwards of an hour. Yeah, and the mending helps you get to like larger breaks mostly, as you need to reshape things into the proper places.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can seal off the sort of sort of the final pieces using the mending cantrip. However, yeah, you have to spread out across the tail as it's been like kind of crushed, and working alongside Neft and Bastion, this could take upwards of an hour or two, depending on your work pace. What is everybody else doing to keep things concealed? Go ahead and make a perception check for me, please. Everybody else.
I'm praying.
You're praying. Okay, go ahead and make a wisdom save for me.
I'll pray it's the cat, and I'll be like, "You were really clutch back there. If everyone didn't know you were super cool, now they know you're super cool."
A wisdom, or was it religion? You said, sorry?
Wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Oh, +7. Okay.
15 plus 7 is 22.
Okay. You go into a corner, kind of secluded, and kneel and begin your prayer. Perception checks from everybody else, if you don't mind. As the Dune King comes to a resting place on the surface, everybody kind of rushes out and gets to work. Samal does keep lookout with you all, as she stands there with a large maul in her arms. Sorry. As you keep an eye out, Hoffs Ignacio, you keep your eyes peeled. The pair of you can see the mountain that you had spied previously to the south. You guys have made... I'm sorry, to the south. To the north of where you... South? Yeah. Sorry, I'm all turned around. 1 second.
Are we to the south of it?
You are currently to the south of it. It is north of where you are.
So, okay. So, where we were closer to the dot when we last left?
Yeah, it's like almost imperceivable. You can just see it on the horizon, the distance of it.
Yeah.
But it is far off, and from what you can see, you don't see the large rocks at the moment. But the sun is out, and it is unfortunately blaring. As you guys peer, you have to keep your eyes sort of like squinted and like hand over your face as you guys peer off into the distance. You don't hear anything for some time though as you work. Are you guys going to do anything to kind of like help keep yourselves concealed at this time?
I mean, how obvious is the Dune King?
I mean, you guys are just out in the middle of a wasteland. You're not around.
Sorry, a better way to rephrase, like how far out of the sand actually is it?
Oh, like how tall? It's about 10 feet, maybe a little bit taller, about to 15 at its highest point. But as it's pretty flat, it could be missed from a distance, you suppose. But who will know? But the rocks, that is.
Is it a very obviously metallic sheen, or is it like
it's muted and dark colored?
It's muted and dark color. I mean, I figured since it's been traveling through the sand the entire time, but I want it to. But for all I know, it's magic ever polished steel or whatever.
No, it is not the most reflective. Also, yeah, traveling in the desert with a nice reflective machine is rather... Might as well be carrying
just
a
broadcast
flag.
your location to everybody. Yeah, exactly.
However...
Sorry, I'm just checking my
totally.
I don't... Yeah, this is where mold earth might have actually come in handy. We'll just mold sand on top of the thing, but
you guys...
Little by little. Oh well.
You guys both, however, Ignacio and Hoffs, as they're working, you guys get about 20 minutes, maybe a half an hour of work in before...
Alright, we can hear them again. We can hear them get...
You can start to see the silhouette approaching of two rocks.
Alright. No, I run inside. We can see and hear them again. Let's get back under now.
Alright, not messing around, but inside, let's go. Not again, he says as he gets the machine operating. Samal, help me on the machines, please. As Samal runs forward and goes to assist, they just start descending. Burrowed, he looks back. Alright, we're not going to get much more done in this area. I say we travel on for some time and maybe make a break in a few hours to finish repairs. Once we're clear of this danger, who knows, I think we'll be safe. We're never safe in this desert. Anyway, moving on, he heads back in and starts moving machines again. Samal returns back to the forge and continues to work on the project with you. Begins to work on finish up your project, Grin. As you guys take off once more, you begin to travel for some ways. You continue to pray, Avery, and in this time you get little response for a while, and you find yourself zoning out as you are sort of kneeled, eyes closed, thinking for some time. You feel nothing. Nothing seems to change. Nothing's altered. Oh my god. Penny!
I love that dog too. I said there were two of them. I love that dog.
Man, I need to make myself some armor as well. This is
It's
real-
always Penny. It's Bailey doesn't do the prolonged barking.
I know
Penny
she doesn't.
does.
Penny
she
gets
just-
excited.
She just sits there and goes, "Woo, woo, woo, woo," and she'll go for like a fucking hour if you don't stop her. I swear. It's not that bad, but I hate her. I love her. You can travel on some ways as you are meditating. You find yourself almost zoned out in a dark void for a while, and as you like open your eyes, you realize you are in a dark void, surrounded by nothing but blackness in all directions. You feel nothing, no movement, you hear no whirring of gears, silent. And you watch as suddenly a pair of eyes open within the darkness. Yellow and cat-like, they appear in the distance. Nothing is said. They just look at you. Do you say anything?
I see them, and I was kneeling, so I'll get up in the darkness and approach it. And I'll just like,
You watch as the eyes close, and you just walk toward darkness.
I'll keep going forward from where I saw it.
You hear a deep growl come from behind you. Just passes over your shoulder.
Okay. I look over and I see nothing, I assume, and then I'll continue forward where the eyes were.
You look over, see nothing, continue walking. You hear a voice that says, I do not control the fates. I merely tamper with them, with them, with them. You hear the snarl over your shoulder once more, and you turn the other direction. Far off into the darkness in another direction, a set of eyes open once more. You have been affected. Saved from the fates. Fate. The eyes blink closed in dark void. They were distant. You hear the words fate. But soon they will come asking. And soon they will take. An eye opens inches from your face, yellow and cat-like. It appears suddenly in front of you, as if opening from darkness itself, inches before you as you stared into nothingness. You're startled for a brief moment as the eye says, "Be ready." As you awaken from your prayer.
I
And
open my eyes and I'll be like, I will be ready.
You do not feel comfortable with the message that was just,
No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't.
you interpret as you may, still feel the hair stand up on the back of you, and an omen fills the air about. You shake it off, you stand up and walk out of the room, as you guys can feel your machine moving once more. You are traveling again. As you move.
Do I need to be helping Small this whole time?
If you have something else you would wish to do, Small will take over.
Because I would like to take the leather that Bastion has been holding on to for me and start making myself some armor, because I do not have armor.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Go ahead and make a blacksmithing tools check for me.
And I do have leathersmithing as well.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you are making leather armor. What kind of armor are you trying to make?
I would like to make studded leather.
Okay. Well, first you must make leather armor. So go ahead and make some check with your leatherworking tools.
Okay, and what kind of check would you like that
That'll
to
be? That'll be strength or dexterity. I'd say dexterity.
Good. 10.
10. This is a hard process, and it is going to take you some time, as you're not the most skilled with leather. It has been some time as you get back to it. The leather is stiff and requires some... it's a long process, but you get to that as well. However, as you all are traveling... You guys just can feel the slight hum of the machinery working around you as you move. The sounds of just like a slow rumble of sand moving beneath your feet. All here, go and make an investigation check for me. As you are reading, I assume.
Yes, I am still reading amidst seeing all the ways I could have died then. Yeah, all right. Investigation.
Correct.
Yep. 17.
17. Okay.
Not quite as good as last time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no worries. Take your time. Or just like my internet's been spotty, so I was like, I wasn't sure if like it had cut out for a second because it was just straight silence.
Well, as you travel in a hurry, it moves. You're reading as you kind of like study about. You've spent a good time reading what you can about God's beard, or God's blood. Jeez, God's blood. From what you're able to gather in this time, God's blood. Based on, you're able to gather the information on the lore. God's blood is said to be the blood of the gods. If you believe the lore, it is said that the old gods, the first gods' bodies, litter the earth, and their blood is still trapped within it. Believed to be, believed to have once channeled the creation magic, the purest form of magic within this world. It is said that that is why it still holds this magical amplification property, is that it is almost like an echo of creation magic, that it turns machines. You do read a lot of like script that is sort of disputing this, but the lore is generally accepted. The information, you get a little bit on the history, mostly, you know, its discovery in the Taldazir regions. It's, you know, long studies of and trials around it. The imbibing sort of studies were done in the Taldazir. And from what you can understand, is it brings images of the end of days, is the quite regular sort of interpretation of its effects. Most individuals tend to be driven mad upon imbibing, not upon upon prolonged imbibing, but some people denote visions upon the first time they imbibe God's blood. Some, it takes a few ingestions. Those who have been times in the past, cults have sprung up in history who will, you know, flock around those whose first touch of God's blood is prophetic. The prophecies always, though, are doomsday-ish. Many, though, do denote a similar vision, which does give sort of the cult's power quite often, that spring up around it. It does, however, then add to sort of crazed behavior for a time, before mad cackling, before stoicism, rivaling that of the dead. It is recorded. The 3 stages. The first is least interpretable, as madness can take many forms, and can be interpretable and subjective. The second, the cackling, is a little bit more subjective. However, strange cackling, very few things do for a prolonged period. The stoicism, much like the figures of the dead, is very sort of noticeable amongst the imbibing of God's beard or God's blood.
God's blood.
Most people don't get to the 3rd stage. It's only seen in like scientific trials that the 3rd stage is often reached. You also discern a couple of like experiments that have been done with it, mostly referring to that of like mechanical machines. You do also find like it seems that any sort of magically assisted machine works sort of 4 times as efficient when God's blood is and there have been studies that have been done to make this process much more efficient. One study that has sprung up around this is hemomancy, or the study of blood magic. Has gotten involved and run studies amongst God's blood, and there is a reaction that is given to certain types of blood, from what you're able to gather, but none of the books here denote that study. You just are very familiar of that study being taken, and notes of that specific thing is that there have been I would say you do see a note that is of importance, that is there has been successful studies around alchemically alchemical combinations of blood mixed into that of God's blood that have proven enlightening results. But that is all it denotes. Nothing more is found within his library about these studies. But I would say, I'd imagine those intrigue you.
Yep.
You do know what hemomancy is. There's a study of blood magic within the school you went to. Which means it's not unlikely that you could find access to these studies or records of these studies within the Red Empire somewhere.
Okay.
Hemomancy is not a very popular magical study, except here in Rakesh, and hemomancy is also allowed with the free peoples, but they're crazy.
You said allowed? Is it just like straight up banned in most other places?
Most other places.
And
some places.
Is that like a?
Sorry, go ahead.
Is that like a practical concern, or is it like a moral concern?
Blood magic can go into some pretty dark places. Including blood mages, very powerful blood mages. Let me make an Arcana check. No, I'd say you know that. Who else is gonna? Very powerful blood mages have the power to make somebody drop dead.
Oh joy!
Yeah, that power
very
is
nice.
very,
That's yeah. Okay.
With just a drop of their blood. So, basically, there is a business ad for an expert killer, a very powerful mage, in hemomancy. But most people won't let it get. Most nations. Same thing goes for like chronomancy. Graviturgy, some places do also have stipulations on, as you could bring a moon down with graviturgy at the highest level too. So there are limitations on certain studies that can reach into the world ending. That is another thing that the Age of Diamond brought about. The Diamond Age. It is no. Mages doing certain things like breaking the moons happened in the Diamond Age. So blocks have been put on these magics to prevent a second coming of the Days of Chaos, which was very much seen to have been brought about by mortal stirrings amongst the gods' territory. It's the mage's fault. The hemomancy is one of those heavily guarded of magic. But you guys continue for some way. You're reading this in the chair, and suddenly dexterity saving throws again, please. You guys do short rest in this time if you to like spend any hit dice prior to taking the damage that I'm total.
Ooh, okay. Well, I get a skill slot back.
Let me roll for Berjal here real quick.
I failed again.
Hey, good job, Berjal. This will make it only 1d6 you guys take.
Oh, Jesus
Ooh. Big.
Hoffs,
That
you're gonna take.
Scared me.
You're taking 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
God, it wanted to do 2, and then it was like, nah, you've been through it already, buddy. And it just like, dink, 20.
Oberon, like, number of times caught off guard by like a sudden jolt, besides the one where you're pulled out of the ground by the bird, just has been like sprung out of his chair in a sleeping state. Oh, actually, Oberon takes none of these damages. I do hope he is not marking them down, because they do technically count as falling damage.
Well, it was half They're not half damage. Only taking damage if we failed it.
Yeah. And you
Haven't
succeeded them
failed.
all? Okay. I wasn't sure if you succeeded the falling one or not. Or the like one where you pulled out. Yeah, every time you guys just watch as Oberon has been like relaxed in a chair and then flung out of it suddenly and is just laying on the ground, slowly getting up, just unaffected by the fall. There's probably one time where he's like asleep in a nap and doesn't wake up from the jolt.
That's our Oberon.
You guys stand up after a moment of the sounds of a metallic machine righting itself once more as you hear calling Neff to go, "What was that, Samal?" Samal goes, "We've broken a cave system, it seems. And there's a glow. A unsettling glow. I think we have company. We definitely have company." As a big splash comes. If any of you want to like take a look out the front window, make perception checks for me.
I'm scared.
Well, Oberon.
You know what? All I use is the internet die.
The internet died. Oh boy.
14 question mark?
Oh my god.
We
That's a
did not
whole
do great.
lot of middling rolls.
You guys see currently a splash of lava which bursts up from a pit that is down a cliff face in a hole just over a cliff edge that Berjal rests upon in a rocky hole. And as you look at this like cave system through the lens, you can see running toward the edge of a lower cliff face is a massive hulking humanoid form. And as you watch as a splash of lava comes from below, a rock comes flying in towards you all.
You
There
fucking
is
kidding me?
a dark like black metalled armored giant that throws, like with this deep red hued skin, throws a rock with hulking shoulders at Berjal. It is a d20 plus 11.
Bro, don't you got anything better to do? Get a life.
It's just one thing after another, man.
Oh boy.
You guys burst through the rock as Berjal takes 4d10 plus 7 damage.
Oh, buddy, I can't heal that.
This isn't self-care. This is something
Abuse.
22
nice.
points. Another 22. Oh boy, that is not what I wanted to. Okay, well, we are going to roll here as
How do
you guys begin moving. Berjal, or I'm sorry, you watch as Berjal begins to move once more as it begins to turn about and rewrite into the sand. Another rock is thrown before you guys can get out. Are you doing anything in this moment?
I look at Grin. Are we gonna do this again, or what are we doing?
No. If that roll is the to hit roll, that's getting silvery barb.
What is the range on silvery barbs?
Oh, it might not be enough. It's creature where I can see within 60 feet of myself.
Well, what I will say is you, as your ship is righted to face the rock thing, you are unable. as
Motherfucker.
the ship is turned to re-enter the sand, you are facing in a rocky. You'd have to be in the tail by this time. And you are not able to get there in time.
Yeah, let's fucking try this again, Ignacio.
Okay, let's try this again.
Before you can, Berjal is going to take.
That's a lot.
So much damage.
69 points of damage.
That's not sexy.
As a rock crashes into the rear of Berjal as he tries to get away. The tail is pinned by a rock as you hear, and currently working to get it out. You can see Samal and Naftar currently panicking. Everybody, do you think we could get some help here? I think we need you out of the machine and defending, or we're all doomed.
Yep. All right.
I just want to bring to your attention, the first attack was a +7, the second attack was a +47.
Yes,
it was a crit, so he did max damage on dice and then rolled. So 4d10 maxed is 40.
So
7.
You guys push open the hatch and run out to see a tunnel hole and a rock jammed at the back of Berjal, a leg pinned underneath, another one cramped below, and the tail currently with a boulder crushed on top of it. We will spring into initiative order next week as you guys face this fire giant or save Berjal in time to get moving again. One or the other. But right now, Berjal, I will tell you, is at
Not looking Gucci.
trying to do some math.
This is not Louis Vuitton. This is like it's not even like
This is like Polo Ralph Lauren.
yeah.
Well put.
This is something you'd find in an outlet.
Dumb.
It's a dupe. It's a dupe, and we can tell.
This is kind of
Go make money instead of trying to look like you make money.
Yeah, Berjal is at 147 hit points, which is still good.
Okay. Yeah, it's a lot better than I thought.
You're lying to me.
Actually,
You're lying to me.
so Berjal took
However,
almost bloody, but not quite, right?
However, this does mean parts of him aren't functioning, which is important. Which parts? Which currently is the tail, your source of sort of navigation in the world while burrowed, as well as your movement speed is 2 legs down, which puts Berjal very limited. But we'll get into that next week as you decide. Berjal is still savable. You can get the rock off and maybe get out of there. But who knows what is running towards you as you hear.
Next time
on Scouring the Scorched Continent.
Tune in next week, folks, to see if these fuckers live
Not
or
next
if they burn in lava.
In 2 weeks.
In
The
2 weeks
following
from
week.
now. Next week, I will be playing a vampire game like a little nerd, like a little nerd boy, but I love it. Until
yeah,
then,
you like that, you little nerd boy.
I'm a little nerd boy, just like all of you little nerd boys, girls, and everything in between.
I appreciate that one.
You all have a great night, and I will see you next week. Not for this game, but for our Saturday game, Woes of the Wildland, where we've just had a PC death. A death, full-on death. Guy Friendly has died.
He's now die friendly.
He is
Die friendly, I hate you. I'm unfriending you.
That was
No, you're not. You're in love with me.
I would message that one to Guy if he was still with us. No, he has gone the way of his horse in our previous sessions, but they still have his body. They've just got a gentle repose upon him in time, but
cute.
they were also just attacked by an ancient vampire that has been hunting them for revenge deep within the woods, with the king of Valamir accompanying them. So, the king of Valamir and the leader of the local goblin tribes. So 2 leaders caught out with a dead companion against a ancient vampire lord. It's going to be interesting. We'll see how that goes next week, though. Tune in then. Until next week, though, everybody have a good week. And you know what? What can I leave you with as sage advice? I'll tell you what. I've got no sage advice.
Eat your veggies.
No, don't eat your veggies.
No, eat them.
Eat light bulbs.
No!
Veggies don't make you stronger. However,
No,
if you eat a
no,
light bulb
no.
and survive, you're bound to get stronger.
I'm going to find you and beat you up myself.
I have eaten plenty of pieces of broccoli and have gotten no stronger from it.
That's a lie.
Eat a light bulb.
It's
It'll
because
brighten
you're
up your
supposed
day.
to eat spinach, you absolute narc.
If you're to learn anything from this session, it is that